the magnets that I inset inside of it mid print, I put them in there, and the print head, and I don't have this problem. I've never had this problem except this print right here, which this is now a defect. It got close, or I guess wasn't quite snug enough to where it pulled the magnet up onto the printer. Like it pulled it out. And so, and I didn't know that until this was completely done printing, and it went to go back home and set everything back to default. And the printer basically said, "Oh, hey, something stuck. It's not working." So I'm like, "What?" And I looked at the print and I was like, "Well, that thing, it looks done." And it was done. It just was trying to go home and then finish and then message me saying, "Hey, your print's complete." Well, the magnets were up inside the print head, stuck, keeping the lever arm from going where it needed to go. So I was like, "God dang it. Like, this was a perfect print and the magnet sucked out." So I had to adjust the fitting of the holes to where they're tighter, to where whenever
it couldn't pull it.
Yeah, so it doesn't just pull it out of the print. But yeah, and I mean, it's going to be a massive speaker. Here's my first print of where the binding posts are going to go. So I broke this one up, and basically this will inset into the back of the speaker, and then the binding posts are going to come out at a 45-degree angle, and they're, it's not going to be quite this. It's going to be a little bit less narrow, but roughly this shape, that just to give you a scale of how big this is, and it's going to be wider in the back. I can actually probably show you if I screen shared real quick. I don't know if I have the power to boot people out like you do last week.
Well, I guess this is the perfect segue, right? Welcome to the Home Theater Hub, episode 115, the Paul 3D Speaker Printing Masterclass.
Yeah, there you
go.
You
get to learn about, 3D printing speakers.
Yeah, let's check this out.
Why buy when you can just print them?
Well, honestly,
Paul, how are you going to since these ones are in like pieces, right? The last one you kind of had the full the full mold.
I'll show you right here. So here we go. So here is because this is going to be rather large. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be, and I don't know if you can see this or if it's too large or what, but I'm going to be printing it in multiple parts, right? So this is going to have the front. See, this is the part that you see that I just showed you, right? And then this part is going to be for the mid drivers,
the baffle, yeah.
And then of course, this is the back where that part I just showed you, the binding posts. And then if you get rid of this, and I've got the main body here, this is going to print just like this. And the printer, I have a much larger printer now, so it makes it easier, but this still has to be broke up. And then this is where I'm going to mount the crossover board. It's going to, because that's rather large, that's like 7 inches squared with all the components on it. And that's as small as I could make it. So I'm going to slide it in here and put 2 screws in there to hold that. And then this right here is just to align the top of the, my labels are probably need to be better here. The top lines
that's a man of your own heart right there with that CAD, right?
Yeah.
This is more advanced than we do on a normal basis.
What kind of software?
This is just Fusion 360. So it's free,
more like product engineering,
personal. Yeah, this is full blown CAD, like true CAD. Like you can make it to where if I wanted to make this out of metal, I could run it through a cam, like how the tool head path would, make this type of deal. Like, yeah, you could throw a product from this into a CNC machine or a milling machine. And obviously, certain things you just can't do, which is what's amazing about 3D printing, right? I mean, I can easily do, these curves and the front and the back, and just little things that add up. And then I'll do like, in here I'll do copper inserts to where there'll be actual true metal threads, but I'll have to use a method that basically heat sinks them in. So basically it melts into this, and then it kind of melts over it, and it melts it into the product. So,
Okay.
and that takes like a couple 100-degree soldering iron or whatever that melts that in. And once it melts in, it's permanent as well. Anyways, let me in the screen share here. But yeah, that's the basic of it. And it's all going to basically, I'm probably just going to use silicone to hold it together. Because if you get proper silicone, and that way I might be able to take it apart and mod it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that I'm also thinking about, is designing it in a way to where, okay, I have screws that I'll screw it together, but I'll screw it from the inside, right? And then be able to maybe change out like that tweeter. You see the tweeter section, right? That I got here. This is just the tweeter, right? So if this box works good, what I'll do is I'll have screw inserts from here. So then I'll be able to reach from the enclosure with that larger, mount, with the binding post mount. Because this hole's big enough to put, your hand in there, right? And then screw this with, some sort of seal to where you can assemble the box, and it won't look that you won't see screws on it on the fascia, right?
Yep.
But it'll pull it tight. It'll look like it's all one piece, but at any time you can then swap this section.
Yeah, I want a blue one of those, or I want a red one of those.
That right there is the only reason that I'm doing basically this project, right? Like it's cool, but to be honest, especially if you're just doing a square box, this costs a lot of money. This just retail, just for the filament, is going to be what, $60 worth of filament, right? Now, people are like, oh, well, that's not much. Well, yeah, but you're also spending, several days designing and iterating and printing and wasting, because like this right here, sure, it's only 12, once it's done, and also
R&D, man, you got to pay for R&D for sure.
R&D is the biggie. That's what you're paying for. You're not paying for the, $60 in filament. It's like you're paying for the R&D, and hey, if I'm printing something, that's for every hour something's printing.
That's
that
wear
means
and
I'm
tear
not
on your printer.
something else for someone else. So you're paying.
Plus,
by
it's
the
wear
hour.
and tear on your printer too, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And wear and tear on it and all that stuff. But anyways, it's fun. But yes, what you said is the whole purpose, because you can get better. Well, maybe not better, but you can get just as good a sound out of just doing wood, taking the time. And some wood craftsmen can do better than they'll make that thing look so damn good. But this will be able to, any color that filament exists in, you'll be able to just, okay, what color do you want? Oh, what custom color? Oh, you want rainbow? Oh, you want translucent? Oh, okay, yeah, I got you.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, that's where it'll be cool. So I'll have my Atmos speaker, since I don't want to paint my ceiling, black or whatever. I'll leave it white. I'm going to print a white speaker and then put white cloth magnetic speaker grill over it, so it'll blend in. And oh, hey, you got a green wall. Now it may not be the exact hue, but it's going to be in the color family. You know what I mean? It's going to be gray, black, red, blue. So anyway, it'll be fun.
That'll be cool. Well, welcome everyone to the 115th edition of the Home Theater Hub. As you can see, we have a new guest on the show. It's been a long time coming, Mr. Glenn. How are you, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me. Look forward to talking to you guys for the next hour or so.
Yeah, absolutely. No, this has been a long time coming. So Glenn is actually a partner of Abe.
Yeah.
Mr. Blue over there. Look at this guy. He went from a bookcase full of stuff to a nice blue background. He's a floating talking head now. Look at this. He's looking
I know, man.
Bro,
It's a
man. He's gonna have a
YouTuber,
green
man.
screen next week.
I have a green screen. I hadn't played with it yet, but
Yep.
I kind of like this. I like this. It's simple, just because black fabric, I get a little uplight, I'm done.
Yeah, it looks great, man. Looks
Yeah.
really
well,
good.
Thank you guys for helping me out get it all dialed in. So, yeah, I'm loving it. Yeah, I'm really hooked on it now. So, and I got my sound how I want it. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I mean, you've definitely invested some time and some money into this. So, wish you the best of luck with your channel when you roll it out for sure.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm getting there. Yeah, I'm doing some trial runs to figure out how I want the format to look, and also to, just learn how to do a show and talk right and have a good.
None of that stuff
Yeah.
matters, man. Just have fun with it and talk. That's all.
Yeah. There's a good. You don't want to just go, right? You want to have somewhat of an idea, right?
Yeah, I want to.
But
I want to
at
plan.
the same
yeah.
time, hey, after a couple weeks of iterating in your head, just go.
Well, yeah,
Because
I'm doing some
otherwise you'll
practice
never
right
go.
now,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, at least get the rough edges kind of, and then I'm gonna just start doing it. But I'm getting there. Yeah, it's will be coming out soon.
Very good, very good. So, what's going on, Ike? How was your week, sir?
You don't even want to know, but I'm here. It's
You're
good.
here.
It's been, yeah, I'm here. It's been a busy week. Been battling sore throat and fever and all that fun stuff. So,
Ooh,
yeah.
ooh, yeah.
So what happens when school is in session, right? Every
Yep.
once in a while you get updated with some type of bacteria, virus that the kids.
Well, it's the
bring home.
petri dish, right? It's the petri dish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. My wife actually came home sick the other day, and I had to sleep in my son's bed with him. So,
Yeah.
but it's a good transition because now I'm like edging to his bed every single night rather than being in mine. So, so yeah, it was like, okay, now it's time to start this, right?
Yeah.
So,
Keep going, don't stop. Yeah, but it's been fun. I haven't even been to work for the last 2 days, so
oh wow.
that's how much I've been trying to get.
Oh,
some
sorry
rest
to
and
hear that
recover.
you're under the weather there. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. How about you, Paul? How was your week?
It was, busy. I even joined the Daily Hi-Fi this week, and
Yeah, I jumped on there yesterday, the other day too, Tuesday. Yeah.
I had to jump off because I was like, oh, I gotta work. I gotta go. Someone jumped. I was there and I had to do something at 9, and someone jumped on early, so I had to jump right off. I was only on there for like maybe 30 minutes.
I actually fell asleep on to the after show. I was there laying with my son because like I said, my wife was sick and I had the earbud in and I was just chatting, But I'm glad, I'm happy they moved back to Tuesday because my Wednesday is just so busy. I wasn't able to listen to them.
Yeah.
So now I'm able to get back on the show and listen and stuff like that. So personal preference only. I'm sure somebody else hates that they moved back to Tuesday, So, but
Yeah.
So anyway, everybody's scheduled, but that's why we do this, and it's recorded and you can obviously check it out whenever you like. So how about you, Abe? How was your week, sir?
Good. Busy. Just working on a couple of theater projects that Glenn and I have got going on. We've got one in Murphy, North Carolina, and one in the Bahamas that's geared up. And where's the other one?
Do you need help with the one in the
I
Bahamas?
know. I'll help you with the
Get in line.
drywall.
Twist my arm, please. I
Yeah.
mean,
Depends
Yeah,
on.
I've actually looking forward to that one. I've never been, so I'm excited about going there. So, in fact, I'll be going.
I can
there
hang
mid-March.
drywalls, Abe.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go in
If
mid-March.
you hire Don to do your drywall, you can stay in the Bahamas for a year.
well,
at least.
if you're going mid-March, I may see you because I've actually just scheduled myself a cruise.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so we're gonna take a first cruise ever for the whole
Oh.
family. Nobody else has been on a cruise. So
Really?
myself, my mother-in-law, my wife, yeah. So we're gonna we're going to take a little 3-day. We're only going to do a 3-day cruise because my mother-in-law is known to get seasick.
A 3-hour tour.
Yeah, so we just want to make sure, we're not stuck out there for 7 days or 10 days or for your first cruise if you're seasick.
Yeah. If there's drywall to be fixed on there, you might be. But
hey, so I may
outside
see you in the Bahamas.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm kind of excited about that one. That should be a nice one.
Yeah, that's cool. And then you also planning to come down around the same
we have
time
a project in Miami. That's just we're just trying to wait for that room to get built so we can get in there, and so it should be ready for pre-wire hopefully the next couple of weeks. I know they want to, as it like everything, it always seems to converge at the same time, because I got a feeling Bahamas is going to converge with Miami, and then they're going to want. And so March.
Well,
I
the
think
good news is that there's a ferry that runs across, if you want, for 2 hours. It only takes 2 hours to get over there.
really.
You can literally take like a boat right over to the Bahamas. Yep, it's only 2 hours from Fort Lauderdale.
Oh,
Crazy.
okay. Well, from Miami, I was just going to fly because
sure.
maybe I can go to Miami, do the pre-wire there, and then hop a plane and get to the
You can almost hang glide there. It's that close. You get a big enough mountain.
Maybe I'll bring Glenn along. I always try to get Glenn to come with me on these jobs.
Yeah. No, there's a ferry that goes out to the Bahamas like every weekend or whatever. So.
Oh, I have to check that out. I did not know that.
Yeah, for sure. So So how about you, Glenn? How was your week, sir? Busy also theater designing?
Pretty busy. Also enjoying the snow up north. Kind of miss it a little bit as long as I don't have to shovel it. But just being down in Florida for almost 30 years, it's something that I was trying to tell my daughter. It's just this spirit about like virgin snow, just being around that area. It's kind of cool to look at. Glad I don't have to shovel it.
Yeah, I there's a saying. I like looking at snow from Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't. Other than that, I don't want to see 2 feet of snow like they're getting.
No, not 30 inches. Oh my God.
Yeah, no.
To try to
So
shovel
I
out
gotta
of
ask
that.
Julian, have you been hit by any falling iguanas?
No, but I have like usually around 9 to 10 iguanas in my backyard every afternoon.
Oh man.
And today I haven't seen any. I saw one a couple days ago, so a lot of them have been decimated.
Oh, it was
Which I don't mind.
It was 82 degrees here today.
Yeah.
And Monday it was 38, 39. So this weather, we're finally getting a winter down here, right? So we're actually getting a couple days of winter, but I think that'll be it for us though. I don't think we'll see any more cold snaps after.
No.
Either of you guys
week.
tried iguana meat? Any iguana tacos? I hear that's a thing down there.
I just saw something talking about iguana tacos. Yeah. Yeah, no. The business that I'm in, we capture them, but they don't make it to the plate. Okay. So, but yeah, no, it's pretty cool. So, the weather here has been crazy. Like I was saying, for me, just an absolute bear of a week. As a matter of fact, I don't even have any movies to talk about this week because I was so busy with my two separate jobs and stuff. So, but yeah, so we'll get right into it because Glenn, like Glenn said, he's going to be on for about an hour or so, and then he's got to step out. So, obviously, you guys work together. So, Glenn, tell us a little bit about how you met Abe and what got you guys to join forces.
Well, we met at a another home theater company where I was doing renderings, and Abe was the project manager. And I was there for 5 years. How long were you there, Abe?
2.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2 years.
Did I leave first or did you? I think who left first?
I left first, remember, because I got married. And I left. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a reason to leave because you got married?
Well, I wanted to go back home to Louisiana. So
okay.
Yeah. So yeah. I took their best drafter with me. Yeah, our boss was not very happy because it's like, when they found out that me and my wife and now was that's how we met. My wife worked with us as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we all three know each other. So, and then when I hooked up with Otto, with my wife, and then I said, okay, well, and we had plans to move back, and so yeah, my boss wasn't too happy that I took his best drafter with me.
Wow. So you left, took the drafter, and then Glenn, you decided. Then what made you leave the company later on?
Well, I was there for 5 years, and I was doing renderings of the theaters, and probably averaged maybe 150 renderings a year. So that's 750, anywhere between 600 and 700 renderings, and a lot of them of the same theater, and it's just boring after a while. And it was a great opportunity. I had no idea that there was a home theater industry. I had gone back to school to learn digital media, computer animation, and started doing architectural renderings, and wound up getting a job in this company. And it could have been a designer for apartment stores or an architect, but I just happened to get my first job doing the renderings for a home theater company. That was in 1998. So I did that for 5 years, but kind of like coincidentally, there was a wide format printer right next to the theater, the home theater company. And so I would go in there, and this guy was taking like digital files and printing art on a piece of canvas. So I'm like, I'm going to take the 3D software and I'm going to create some art. And then I'm going to print it on the canvas and see what happens. So I started creating a portfolio of that, and I actually got accepted into the Boca Raton Museum Art Guild, which is like a pretty good thing. You have to go present your art in front of a jury. So that was cool. But, we had this one theater. It was actually called the Art Deco, but it was really just 3 long rectangular panels of a solid color.
Right. I remember that.
And I would look at that thing, and I'm like, man, that would look so much better if there was art on those things. So that was like the first seed of what, became 3D Squared, where we create original art for acoustic panels. So it took a while to get, to find a solution for that. Number one, you had to find a good acoustic friendly fabric that you could print on that would accept a really good print, right? And number two, you had to find a printing method that could print on that kind of fabric. So it may have taken 1.5 years, 2 years to actually find that kind of solution.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, we went through tons of testing on all the different fabrics till we found one that popped, that did it.
Yeah. So once that kind of happened, then I just created this portfolio of art specifically for home theaters. And what I was able to do, fortunately, was I could create the art and then do a quick rendering of it in the theater, divide it onto several panels throughout the theater, evaluate the flow of the art, and then make adjustments to it. So I used to say at the time I was the first person in the world probably that created art specifically for home theaters. And to tell you the truth, I don't know if anybody else is still doing that. I have no idea. A lot of people go find art on these royalty-free sites, and that's fine. But I don't think anybody's making it specifically for acoustic panels and home theater environments. So that's really cool. Yeah.
What's up, Scott? How are you, sir? Scotty in the house, the guy who never shows up for the live stream. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys? I was finally able to make it. So
that's awesome. Thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, appreciate you, Scott. So Scott is like the computer guru. I mean, him and Paul both are, but
he's the smarter version of me.
I don't know about that.
He's the guy that can remember
Oh yeah.
Knowledge in different areas. Knowledge in different areas. That's good.
So yeah. So appreciate you joining us tonight, Scott. Appreciate that.
Yeah, glad to be on.
So Glenn, you talked about, creating art for that, for the panels and stuff. I'm just gonna pull up the website here. If you could just walk us through some of the panels and stuff, and just what were some of your inspirations, right? So like this theater here, right? You guys just recently completed this one.
Yeah, that's that's an awesome project. It's been quoted. People have said it could be like the best theater in the country right now, in terms of visuals and what's behind the walls, in terms of the speakers. And Abe could talk about the speakers and everything, but
it's a massive JBL synthesis system that it's right. JBL is actually currently doing a case study on this that they're going to publish hopefully next month, or hopefully in this month. Well, it's almost up, but probably so next month. But it's pretty impressive. I mean, it's insane, but it sounds fantastic.
So when you're going into because look, some people want a black hole theater, right? And some people just want, they want it to be aesthetically pleasing too, right? So, this, I see functionality plus design plus, this can go into a multi-million-dollar house and not affect resale, and actually probably even help resale, right? So, when obviously we know that, to get the best contrast from a projector, you want the walls to be as black as they can be, and everything else like that. So walk me through the thought process of this theater, right? What are you dealing with interior designers here that kind of set you in the right way, or is this just a project that you built from ground up?
Well, this is kind of I created a theater. Well, I created the panel design. It's called the Gatsby. So the client, and then we create the panel design, and then we create the theater design around the panels, which includes the columns and all the other millwork. So the client liked that theater. And then, if you go into the portfolio on the top, if you're going to, okay, yeah, so you got it.
Yeah.
Right. So, like I said, so it's kind of like our Gatsby theater on steroids. We had to add the art on the bottom of the chair rail, and there's art on the bottom of the soffit, and obviously that big mural that's on the back wall. I had a Hollywood mural, but it looked totally different than that. So I basically changed all the colors and everything to match the panel design. So everything you see here was just basically designed in-house.
And and that's a continuous kind of continuous image you see that goes across. It's broken up by the pilaster,
Right.
and then behind that, there's just a ton of speakers behind all that. We have we have 4 SSW1 JBL subs in there, plus the surround speakers are in the column. Each one of those columns has a SCL 6 surround speaker in them in your bed layer. So this is, I think, a 13.8.10 system, if I'm not mistaken. I could be off a little bit.
Yeah, there's over 30 speakers.
Right where it says Midway Home Theater, there's 2 gigantic SSW1s right there. And then the projector is in its own room behind, and it's a Freya Plus barcode projector.
Right. So what do you start with first when you're looking at a design, Glenn? And obviously, are you looking at color palette? Are you looking at carpet? Are you starting with the panels first? How do you put all this together?
It's like, the ideas come from the ether. If you listen to a musician and like, how do you write a song? And they're like, I don't know. It just comes to me. And sometimes I just, something may have triggered it. I don't know, but I just start playing around in the 3D software. And, sometimes like the first 80% you can do in half hour maybe, but then it might take 3 days for the other 20% to finalize everything, you know. And I like to like step away from a design for a day or so and then look at it again with fresh eyes and say, is this thing working or not? And then if it's working, you know, continue with that. And then once I have the design, then I'll play around with the colors. And like I said before, like once I think I'm where I need to be, then I'll throw that into like a generic theater, you know, doing a rendering and see, you know, what needs to be tweaked. And then if I like that, then I'm like, okay, let's build some columns, you know, that complement that design. And, you know, then what's going around on the ceiling, what's going on, if we have a chair rail, under the chair rail, things like that. You know, once that's all in, find a carpet, throw in good color chairs that complement it. So that's really the process.
Okay. So once I mean, what happens when you're dealing with, because look, I mean, I'm not privy enough to live in like a multi-million-dollar theater, but I mean, multi-million-dollar home, but you know, obviously, you know, some of these houses in South Florida down here and I'm sure across the country, you guys do a ton of upper end theaters, right? What happens when you're dealing with like an interior decorator or something like that?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
That's the one thing we don't want to deal with, you know, because, you know, I feel like between me and Abe, we could cover all the bases.
Right.
But, you know, designers have to justify their, you know, their salary, their position with their client. And so, I mean, we're dealing with a design right now on a project in Miami. It's funny because the client, it's a beautiful, very modern house, but the client, the male in the house, he wanted a very traditional theater going into this very ultra modern house, which doesn't make any sense, you know. So we designed an extremely traditional theater that would look great up in New England, but not in Miami.
Right.
And then his wife saw that. I don't know what kind of communication they had, but his wife saw that, and the designer saw that, and they were like, "What are you doing?" You know. So they kind of took over the project. I don't know if they had confidence in me and Abe, thinking like we had no idea what we were doing, but we were just getting all of the directions from the client. So the designer took over, and now we kind of have to follow her lead in terms of the design. So,
and then we're having a fight with them because they don't understand theater design. So, you know, so then the husband's going to bat for us against his wife's designer. So it's like we're the husband's designer, and then the wife's got her designer,
right?
And we're butting heads together. But so far, we're kind of we let them have their design, but they have to design it to. We've had the engineering, and they've got to. So we're trying to force them to kind of play in our sandbox and fix a lot of stuff. But it's starting to come together. It's starting to kind of meld together, and we've got a good look and feel of it. So it's painful because they don't think they have to listen to you, but then they have to. I mean, otherwise, because they don't know nothing about theaters, you know.
Right, right.
So, but it's coming together. Yeah.
So when you take a look at a lot of this very high-end home theaters, right? Like Don alluded to, they're usually not bat caves. They're not even anything close to a bat cave, right? Would you say it boils down to being able to afford very expensive projectors like the Freya that can project even in these types of rooms? Or do you think it's just the aesthetics that it's a trade-off? They keep the aesthetics and don't worry too much about, you know, a bat cave? Because a lot of them, and I've been in quite a few, I don't recall literally walking in any of them, and it's just a complete black hole.
Well, I mean, you got to remember the bat cave syndrome is for cheap projectors. You know, you're forcing a contrast, you know, with lower, you know, granted, some of these are $30,000 projectors, but that's relatively
that's a drop in the bucket. Yeah.
Compared to what the projector at a higher end is capable of. So you don't need the bat cave.
Well, and for me, you know, the one thing that I love working with Glenn's kind of he's great at kind of putting the artistic vision together, getting the color palette, getting the look and feel, and working with the client to kind of to take whatever inspiration the client has for the look and feel of the theater. Then I have to make it work. So then I have to engineer it to make it actually functional and get it. So it's a great combination of like, how do we take something that's just, we're inspired by this and actually make it a functional theater? And then, you know, because it's got to be sized to the room. And then the room, I would say the room, speaks for itself. And the room tells you what it needs. So like in that room, we looked at the cubic volume of space we had. We looked at the distance for the projector and the screen and everything. And so, you know, there was just only certain things that we could use to kind of fill that bill. I mean, now, do we have to do a Freya Plus? No. I originally was going to do a Nerthus just because of the horsepower we needed to push a 208-inch screen that distance, 30 feet throw. But the client was he's hardcore into audio video, and he's like, man, just do whatever, just do the best, just give me the best one, you know. And he just really enjoyed the process. We got, because he was kind of a one-off. He just was really open to explore, like, what about this projector? Can we do that? It's like, yeah, but that's way more horsepower than you need. Let's put that one in, you know.
Yep.
So
it's like the lottery. We hit the lottery with this guy.
We really did. And he was fun to work with because he's just like all the rest of it. He's an enthusiast. He just has a bigger scale, but he's the same as all of us. He just loves the cool. Yep. He loves the gear. He loves the tech. He loves the stuff. He just has the means to allow us to just have fun, you know, and do some creative things. So that's what I enjoyed so much about his theater, is he allowed us to explore. It was wonderful.
Yeah, that's always good when when you have somebody that you can work with and not have to battle, like you were talking about, you know, with the interior designer, because, you know, I mean, you mentioned it, the houses in South Florida, they're marble and white, right? I mean, that's pretty much what you know. They're starting to come around now to get some softer tones in them. Now they're trying to make them like a mid-century modern type of house, and a lot of new designs, and allowing some soft tone wood floors and stuff like that now. But I mean, for the most part, when you look at a Miami like high-end, super high-end house, it's white marble floors, bright white walls, and bright white ceilings with a lot of glass, right? So it's you know, it I'd imagine it's tough to design for that, unless it's like, okay, this is a whole separate dedicated wing, you know, of the house, and you know, it's not going to be, you know, not really going to be seen a whole lot, you know. It's going to be not in the main area of the house, right? So yeah, so talk about some of your designs, Glenn, like what inspires you, you know, and I'm going to pull up some of your panels and stuff here. We'll go through a couple more theaters in a second, but I want to pull up some of your panels that you're doing too. So let's see here for services.
Yeah.
It's panel art. Here we go. So I mean,
this first one that you're looking at up there, on the right hand side, that's called Angled Curves. That was one of my very, very first designs, and you know, for those first couple of years when I introduced that thing, it probably sold at least 15 theaters worth of those panels. That was like super hot, that design. And it's funny because I haven't done anything with that in years. It's just like it hit at the time. I'm not sure what happened, but it was like really, really popular. Now lately, like, no, I don't get many.
Well, you know what, the guy who called us the other day, he liked that one. That was one of the ones he liked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I stumbled across your website many years ago, and I think I was telling you this in the green room. I reached out to you, you know, talking to you about maybe putting together a full, like the acoustic, you know, you literally putting acoustic panels across my whole theater. Yeah. And unfortunately at the time it just wasn't in the budget, you know.
Right.
Not that I didn't like your designs or anything like that, but we talked about it for a while, and it was like, I love these panels, and this is what attracted me to you guys, was this panel here, and I think there was another one that was kind of similar to that. That's a little bit
there's
better.
one called Gold Revealed that is similar to that.
Yeah.
It was probably that one.
And you had one with lighter seats in it, and I'll go this one right here.
This one, yeah.
Because my seats are light, and I was like, wow,
Right.
this looks really good.
Right.
So it would match. I decided not to go with the columns. I don't mind the column looks, but to me, a lot of the theaters have columns, and I understand why, because you have to put a speaker in there, you have to bump them out from the wall to give the speaker room. But I built my theater 9 inches off the wall specifically so I can hide whatever type of speaker I want to put in there, right? So, the panels. I mean, I literally was just going to hang the panels on the wall.
No, that's fine.
So, yeah, I mean, it just talk about how you came up with like the design process for this. Like, I know you said it was kind of like when you're writing music, right? But do you get inspired by something, and then say, okay, I'm going to start off with this, and then add different stuff, or is it something a design that just pops into your head?
No, I don't. I just kind of just sit down at the computer, and it's weird when you're on a computer. You're using, with this 3D software, you're using, the left side and the right side of your brain. You can't just be totally creative because you're working with pretty sophisticated software. So, it's not that organic. There's literally millions and millions of attributes that you could tweak to get different textures, effects, this and that. So you have to kind of find a balance of like when is enough.
Right.
But it's like you start with a shape, and then you add some other shapes, and then another shape, and then you got to move this shape, and then move that shape. And then once the shapes are pretty good, then you have lighting. It's 3D lighting. So it's like adding a main light, a key light, backlights. How are we going to light this thing? How, where are the shadows going to cross? And you could see the shadows.
Yeah, I can see the shadows on this. Is cool.
Yeah. And how much texture, how much bumps, how much texture do we have in there? And then that's just for like, all right, and how are we going to do this so it's interesting that like all of the art we create, most of the art we create, it's not just one design that's going on 8 different panels. It's a multiple of different designs that are related to each other that make sure that the room's not redundant. So how are we going to continue this through, 4 or 5 panels? So it's just a lot of tweaking, a lot of re-rendering, and it's not a very artistic, organic type of process. It's kind of very analytical. So you're combining art with analytics in a way.
Okay.
Which is a weird thing to do.
You said that you got it, accepted to the Boca Art. I apologize. What can you repeat? The Art Guild.
Right. Boca Raton. Yeah, I'm not in it anymore, but yeah. And
was that for this design work, or was it because you're an artist?
No,
also?
I have a totally different portfolio of art that's not related to home theaters. Much more. I could show you guys some of it if you're interested in seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. Be interested to see. So
totally
you have the art eye, right? I mean, kind of like a photographer has an eye, right?
I've always been, better than average. I'm not, there's people out there that are so much better than me, but I've always had some creativity, and so when I saw, like I said earlier, when I saw this printer next to our home theater office creating these prints from digital files, I'm like, let me see what I can do. And so it just was able to start creating things out of the ether. And I guess I was lucky that I have the ability to do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it
definitely takes. That's for sure. But
I mean, just like interior design, right? It definitely takes a certain eye, right, to you know, because I could throw a bunch of stuff in a room and it'll look like a bunch of stuff, but
Right.
you get an interior designer or whatever, you know, it makes a house turn into a home, right? You know, like stuff that you see in magazines and everything else, and that's, you know, this is what we would see in home theater magazines, obviously. You know what I mean? The
If
type
we
of,
still had them.
right, exactly. The type of work that you guys are doing here.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I noticed here that, you know, a lot of the panels on the wall, and are these pictures? They're not renderings, right? They're actually
No, that's
actually
a lot. That depends. There's some of them are real, some of them are renderings.
okay. Okay.
That's
So
a rendering.
so it looks like, you know, a lot of these are like it looks like 2-inch panels, right? So
You know what?
You can make them in 1 inch or 2
Yeah,
inch.
we whatever.
on
It
what's
could be 1 inch. A lot of the panels, to be honest with you, the majority of the panels we do are 1 inch. I've never
Okay.
got a complaint. I know all the audiophiles, they want 4 inches or at least 2 inches and all this. But for the common guy, I don't think they can hear the difference. I sell a ton, hundreds and hundreds of movie poster reproductions. And
Yeah,
almost
well,
all of them are 1 inch.
Yeah, the 1 inch is 1 inch acoustic panels, like something like that. They're gonna take care of the rough spots. Are they as accurate as if we did 2 inch or we did a stretch fabric frame and modular acoustic? No, but just the fact that you're putting some absorption of the room is going to help kind of tame the sound, tame the slap echo, tame reverberation. You're never hurting. You're only helping the room. So here's a quick, kind of easy way to have something look very nice, artistic, and functional. So sometimes 1 inch is all you need. If it's definitely, it's better than not having it. So
Right.
You kind of get the best of both worlds: the good looking theater, plus it makes it sound much better.
Yeah. No, I mean, they're obviously, you know, the different thickness, and then so when you hang these, are they hanging? Do you make it to where they hang off the wall a little bit, or is it just flat against the wall, 1 inch total?
They hang slightly off the wall. Typically, we have like 2 rings on the back, and then there's anchors and screws, and you hang them on the screws. So it's not 100% flat against the wall.
Okay, so it does add a little bit more depth, you know, because
Maybe, but not much.
the general rule is, you know, if you're doing a 2-inch panel, technically they're supposed to be 2 inches off the wall, right? Is what I've always been told, for, you know, to give the effect of a 4-inch panel, basically.
You can do that. I mean, there's a
I don't
lot
think
of
too many
different ways
people
to
are
come.
doing that.
But
Yeah.
most of the people buying the artwork panel, especially the movie poster panels, they're just hanging it on the wall. Just
Right,
like
okay.
that.
What does the back and forth process go like while you're going through like the design, the artwork? I mean, you have your own vision, and then you're dealing with, you know, let's be honest, some really high end clientele. Like, are they very particular in general? And like, how long does that take usually when you guys are going from like this concept, this vision, to like fulfilling the reality of the person that's purchasing it?
Well, it depends if they wanted just the way they see it on the website. For that, the first design we were talking about, the angled curves, I've done a lot of different varieties of that with different colors. So maybe that center part might be red or gold or something like that. You know, you're dealing with designers, and then you have to do test prints to make sure the colors that we see on our monitors are actually the colors that we're printing. So there is, when we start doing the custom colors, then there's definitely a lot of back and forth, making sure that everyone's happy with those final colors that they're going to get.
Do you say the majority of the clients usually pick one that has already been designed, or do you get, is it like what's the split of someone coming up and going, hey, I want something completely custom, or choosing something that's kind of
Probably 80%, you know, right off the website, maybe 20% saying, can you change the colors?
okay?
Yeah. Now, in addition to this, I mean, we'll do full blown engineered theaters as well, where we're doing custom, just like you saw the very first one. That one was a theater that Glenn had designed, and the client liked the look and feel of the Gatsby, but then we custom tailored that whole look for that room and engineered it. So, and that took probably a couple months of design iterations to finalize. We went through several looks and feels, and I know Glenn had worked with the homeowner to dial in the artwork and everything for that. So that was all custom artwork just for that client.
So the size, it looks like, what is this? Maybe like 3x6, something like that.
Yeah. Originally I designed everything for like a 3x6 panel.
Okay.
It's a good
And
guess.
how is shipping for that? Do you ship them in like the square and they sit on top of each other? What's the logistics like for that?
They we ship them in like a very tough cardboard box typically, unless we're doing a whole theater, we're going to crate it up and everything. But if somebody's just ordering 6 panels, it's just shipped via usually if they're large, freight service. Comes in a box. That's a very well protected box. And it's funny, I did I think 15 large custom movie poster panels in Jersey, and this guy was expecting this huge box. But if you're doing 15 1-inch panels, the box is only going to be 20 inches tall. He's like, are all the panels in there? I'm like, they are.
Yeah, because I was just curious if you pieced them somehow together or just for.
No, they're ready to hang. They get them and they're all just ready to hang.
Yeah.
Very nice. Oh, that was
this
pretty
is some
cool.
of the crazy stuff.
Now, is this a rendering or is this?
Yeah, that's. I haven't sold that one yet. I'm waiting. That would be a good one for Miami.
Yes.
A modern house with a lot of whites and blues. That would be great for Miami. I think
For
the next
sure.
one too.
A little
I
bit
just
of palm,
took like an
palm
image
tree
of a
look.
beach and I kind of just whacked it up in Photoshop.
So even when you have clients that pick from what is on the website, do they ask you to make slight modification based on the fact that there's a chance that there's a handful of other theaters out there with the same design that you built?
Yeah, that's a good question. The only modification would be just the color scheme to match their color palette for their theater.
Okay. But the concept remains the same, but yeah, they can adjust the color palette.
Yeah. These are the movie posters. Like I said, we do a lot of that. I mean, what's a better product for a home theater than a movie poster acoustic panel?
Sure.
And in that theater, that's the one in California that we did, and he loved it. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was where was that? Nebraska. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool. It looks like the frame too. Did the full picture frame look? That looks really nice. Like
Yeah,
I love the old. If you stay on that for a second, I love the old classic poster. Talking about art, this is art. If I was going to do a theater with movie posters, it would be like these vintage posters because I just think that they're so colorful and artistic. And unfortunately, a lot of people just get the movie posters of their favorite movies without thinking about what's the color scheme here.
Yeah.
Are these posters going to complement each other and complement the theater? I don't think people think about that too much. Based on the orders, I'm getting Scarface and this and that and blues and whites and browns, and there's no consistency there.
And these panels were, obviously these are oversized panels of the original artwork, but it's amazing the quality of it because I installed all these panels and I'm sitting there right up against it looking at them thinking, and just the detail was just insane. I mean, the quality of the print and the resolution of the artwork was fantastic. And then
what are they printed on?
What's that?
Oh, what are they printed on?
It's an acoustic friendly fabric. It took me a while to find a really good fabric, that was breathable. And then, you want it to have a slight stretch to it, but not too much because then you're going to distort the image. So yeah, so I kind of call it like proprietary fabric, but it handles the prints really really well, as you can see.
So with something like this, that's full on print, right? So what I guess obviously you'll have different colors, just background to start with, right? So this one
For the
right
theater?
here, yeah, for the theater. So this one
Yeah.
right here, what color fabric did you start off with here? Was it a black fabric?
And on the walls,
Yeah, so this abominable
that's painted.
snowman.
The walls are painted.
That
The walls are painted
No,
purple.
that whole image is printed on white fabric.
it's printed on white fabric.
Yeah,
White.
yeah, it's a white fabric, and then whatever's white on the image will just show the fabric.
Okay, so when the printer prints this on the fabric, right? Obviously,
Yes.
the white it remains.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
the yellow is going to be what type of, is it actual paint? Is it like a plastic? What actually is
It's an
being?
ink. It's an ink that it gets it's like an ink that gets kind of like absorbed into the actual fiber of the fabric. It's not
Okay.
like a t-shirt that we used to get from the concerts where it starts to peel. Remember those
Mhm.
back
Yep.
in the day? So it's an extremely durable print and durable fabric.
So that was a question I had, because obviously if you're putting something like you're talking about, like a T-shirt, and you just put that sticker over top. Let's call it
Yeah,
a
it's
sticker
gonna,
for. Yeah, now you're then blocking the sound, right?
right,
So
right. Yeah, no, you still have the porous fabric.
And some of these speakers are behind that artwork. So when I installed those, I carefully notched out the acoustic material where the speaker was, just where the hook from the speaker was.
Excuse me for a second. I got to get my battery for my laptop. Hold on.
Yeah. So without making sure I cut the artwork, I had to take out the acoustic material where the speaker was so that the speaker can blow through it. But and you don't see the speaker at all. So we've got several surround sound speakers behind those panels that you don't even know are there.
okay,
Yeah, that's one hell of a printer, because the detail is incredible for it.
Yeah,
Not
for
like a
sure.
screen print
was.
or overlay.
Yeah, that was the one thing I've always been impressed with, that the printer we use, because when it also starts with the artwork that because he spends extra time really dialing it in and getting it perfect, getting it ready for the printer, and it makes a difference, especially when you're supersizing that image.
right, yeah, because you need like a raw file to
Yeah,
blow that up.
I get a very high resolution scan of the posters, and then I'll actually go in there and massage the image. And in many ways, my image will be better than the original poster, especially for some of the older posters where the quality is not very good. So I could go in Photoshop and really, enhance the colors, get rid of the blemishes. So I tell people, everyone's always a little bit skeptical, like, what's it going to look like, blah, blah, blah. And I've never had a complaint, and I'm not BSing you guys. And a majority of the time, people will say that it's so much better than they ever expected. So that's always great to hear. Right?
Yeah, that is great to hear.
Yeah.
Couple more of the movie posters here.
Yeah, I mean, they look incredible.
So
They
where
look like the actual like poster itself, like the quality is
Right.
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask a question, but if I ask that question, then everybody be trying to do this, so we're not going to ask that question.
Yeah. This is from a recent project.
Yeah, so this was Mr. Long's theater.
Long's
Yep.
Theater.
Yeah, so we had Mr. Long on.
Oh, right. Okay.
Maybe not too long ago.
Yeah, not too long ago.
No, but he was on. I guess before Thanksgiving time.
think so,
Maybe back. Maybe back.
Eventually, I think we're going to try to do a tour. We're working on getting that arranged.
Yeah. So this theater was phenomenal that you guys put together here. I mean,
there's a case where the posters really are the theme of the theater.
Right.
there's a definitive mood that he's trying to set, especially when you have the red version of that. I don't know if I have it on there, but the lights change the color.
Yeah, all
So
the lights in that room
red
can change. We got
It's pretty ominous.
yeah, the red looks pretty crazy looking. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that picture. I think when you go to the theater designs,
Yeah,
you can see it in there. So that's the blue version of it there, right?
Yeah. I might have the red version. There's
I think when you go down a little bit further here, but I mean, honestly, and we've had this theater that I'm going to talk about here on, we've talked about it before, but I mean, the BioShock theater, here's the red version right there.
There you go.
Yep.
That's a mood. That's creating a mood right there, right?
Yeah, I mean, and
I'd have nightmares. I'd have nightmares after watching a movie in that one.
I mean, the carpentry work in here is just so well defined, and I like how each of the panels got the 45 to create this notch, right? The fabric, and then even the trim is just, I mean, everything is perfectly symmetrical. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's the blue version there. But this is my favorite, man. I mean, you guys have. I mean, I don't understand how this even came together or even close to coming together.
Yeah.
But this is a BioShock theme that we've shown this one here plenty of times.
That was super hard. There's so many parts to that, and what you could appreciate it. We were using this metallic paint, and it would not dry, and it was super sensitive. And we had to do maybe 5 layers of that, and each layer took like weeks to dry.
Oh, wow.
And then it was near Austin, Texas, the theater, and so some of it had to be touched up a little bit, and we just had a local guy in Austin come and touch it up, and because of the lack of humidity in the middle of Texas, he had absolutely no problem working with that metallic paint. But I'm not sure if we would ever try to do that again down here, not with that kind of paint. It was just such a nightmare.
It was the appliques, like on the column, because that was a CNC machined out piece, right? Didn't we put on top?
Yeah, the whole facility had these individual little pieces lying around drying for months.
Oh wow!
It took over everything. But as you can see, I mean, if it's not for everyone, but if it's for you, then
I mean, if you played this game,
I had never heard of the game.
How could you not appreciate this?
When the guy came to me, I had no idea. But then I started looking at images, and I'm like, for me, those are like the amazing projects to get involved in, because they really challenge your creativity, and like that. And it came out super. He was super happy with that. And when I presented this theater in some of the Facebook forums, so many people thought it was just AI.
I thought it was a rendering. Yeah.
Not even a rendering. Now it's not even a rendering. You can't even get credit for a rendering. Now it's just AI.
No, it's AI. Yeah, that's a real thing. That's a Yeah. I remember buying the BioShock game and playing it just so I can get understanding of how all the artwork is.
Yeah. So this is like here's the bar area behind the theater, so that's the back of the chair wall enclosure.
So much thought, so much attention to detail.
Yeah,
went into this, and I'd imagine these panels, these CNC panels that you made here, kind of was inspiration for you, like your Gatsby theater and stuff like that, because it's kind of like the same, somewhat design, right?
Yeah. It's some of those architectural elements, are similar. Yeah, this is the bar.
That bar is amazing.
Yeah,
that's just. I mean, you guys just really, really knocked that one out of the park.
I wouldn't even make it to the theater with that bar.
You wouldn't remember any movie.
Nope,
for sure.
And that's like this is just a more traditional theater.
Yeah, that's old school. Client just wants, there's a lot of people out there who still want that red and gold, and so we'll
especially up north.
Very traditional.
You find a very traditional
with the curtain, the motorized curtain, and all that.
Yeah.
This one's cool to me too. I
Yeah.
like the different symmetry that you got going on, through the different panels, and it's cool because like you actually carry it through the wall, through a different wall over here too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it makes it look really, really just a simple eye of doing something like that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Shows the level of design, and then you got it on the door too. So when
Yes.
you shut the door, it's gonna just blend right in.
This was what was that? Guinea? What
I was in
Guyana.
Guyana, South America.
South America, right?
Do you have a photo of the ceiling, or is that further down?
I'm
The oval shaped sky ceiling we had to
I'm
do
not
that?
sure. No, I guess I
No.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a challenge. We had to do that in Guyana in in a week before this guy's wedding of his daughter. We built that in a week in South America, and we pre-built it in a warehouse here. We basically had figured out how everything was going to fit together, then broke it apart and crated it, and then reassembled everything in Guyana in a week.
Crazy.
And
Yeah.
what's interesting about this also is that, back in the beginning, I got a lot of great images of outer space, and I made all kinds of, by themselves, some of these images are just amazing. But then
Yeah.
I created like space murals, and that's another type of topic that is perfect for home theaters is outer space, especially if you have a fiber optic ceiling. So this particular design was part of a very wide mural of the Milky Way, where I added other different elements like the Earth to it. So and I used to do a ton of those too. I mean, we did.
And this ceiling was
Those-
a solar system. Was a solar system with fiber optics in it. Remember?
Yeah,
So we ran fibers through that as well. So
yeah.
which was kind of a challenge.
So, Macro Proxy says, maybe I asked this before, but I'm closing on another house in 2 weeks. What price range does your services start? So let's talk about that real quick. I'll stop sharing this screen. What? Obviously, you offer theater design, right?
Right.
So let's just say I'm a DIYer, and I just want you to design something for me. So what services do you offer? Do you offer just aesthetics? Do you offer just a full plan? How minuscule and how deep would you go? Obviously to the full build, right?
Yeah, well, we actually have it itemized, right? Right, Abe?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, so anyone can purchase just panels. Like if you have in mind, you want you see any of the panels on the website, or you have movie poster panels, anyone can order those. And I think what do movie poster prints start at, Glenn?
The average, depending on how many you order, for like a 27 by 40, those
Average
are like
poster size.
around 250. They average around 250 per panel.
Yeah.
But if he's asking about a full design, our complete design service, including renderings and everything else, plus all of the CAD drawings, for generally a standard type of theater, like the long theater, is 4,500.
Yeah.
And then, if he just needs a subset of that, obviously it would be somewhat less if he just needs aesthetics or something like that. But we recommend the full package just to make sure.
So, Abe,
So
are
you
you
get the
able
whole
to pull up?
engineered environment. Yeah.
Are you able
Like,
to pull up like a full, like a $4,500 package? Are you able to pull something up like that and show, what's all included with that?
I
Or
can't
like
on
one-
my
long-
laptop, but
Yeah, well, like long and that the first one you saw, those were custom projects. So those were $4,500 design fees. Where actually the first one exceeded that because we had hundreds and hundreds of hours of drafting. So typically there's a set amount of hours. We estimate usually about 40 hours, 40, 60 hours is typically what it takes to turn around a full theater. If it goes beyond that, then we're paying for extra drafting essentially. It just depends on how customized the theater gets. But we've had some DIYers. Hey, I want to build it myself, and that's fine. I just need inspiration. And we had a really good client in Auburn who was a carpenter by trade. So, but he recognized the value of having a design direction. So we just did a design set, which is about 1,500, which is just elevations, floor plan, reflected ceiling, just to give him a start, of using his equipment and everything. And then we made suggestions with him to kind of tweak it. And he said it was the best money ever spent because it really helped him enjoy the process because he had a playbook. He had something to go by. And eventually he actually came back to us and said, hey, can you help me install everything? So we ended up getting, selling a lot of his gear and his Kaleidoscape system. And then we ended up doing the installation as well. But he loved it. He enjoyed the process. So we've had several DIYs just hire us just to do the design, the rendering to kind of get inspired.
Right.
But definitely the biggest benefit, let us do the engineering as well.
So, Abe, are you able to pull up like what's included with like that, like a $4,500 package, like that? Just or an example of what you get, like you're designing CAD and
So essentially, so a $4,500 package starts with there's the preliminary design phase. So the very first place we start is creating the elevations, the floor plan, and then me and Glenn will get together. Glenn will put together a photorealistic rendering of what that room's going to look like. And sometimes Glenn will work with the client initially just to, based on something they either see on our website or some idea they have. And so you'll have that preliminary set that shows the look and feel, like the elevations, the floor plan, reflective ceiling, and that rendering. Once they approve that design set, and we've kind of got a lockdown on that, and then we'll also present to them at that time a estimate for the interior for us if they want us to supply the interior or the AV. We'll have associated estimates available to them. They're under no obligation, but hey, if you want us to do turnkey, here's everything. But let's say once they approve that design set, then we have the green light to go ahead and roll right into the construction set, which is still part of that $4,500 cost. And the construction set is just all the framing details for the builder to frame out the walls, dimension location where framing needs to go to make sure speakers land between the stud bays, framing details for the platform, for the stage, for the soffit, HVAC details for dimension location for supply and return, thermostat locations, dimensioned electrical, a load schedule showing, how many dedicated 20 amp circuits we need to the rack. And so we do the full set of drawings. And then included also in that is my time working with those trades, project management, just working with the framer, then working with the HVAC guy, the electrician, the AV integrator, if it's us or if it's another AV integrator that we're working with, to make sure they know like dimension speaker locations, pre-construction brackets go in. And then we start buttoning up the room at that point. Installation then goes in after the low voltage pre-wire, drywall, paint, and then our team can come in and actually do that interior. So we got a whole crew that can just come in and install all those acoustic panels, install the millwork, install the seating, the carpet. So we can do the whole thing. So, but that $4,500 takes care of basically all the design, construction drawings, plus the project management to see it from start to finish.
So Macro Proxy also has another question. How about when you get into the construction, is it all stubbed out locally with some oversight, or are you mobbing out?
We have depending on where it's located. Like sometimes if we're on a new construction project, say in California, then I'll want to, most of the time we'll work with the homeowners, contractors who are already on the job to tailor. Like I'm going to work with that guy's framer, their drywaller, and then to get the room built. How we need their HVAC contractor, everybody get the room built, and then our team will fly out to do the interior of it. If it's local, we have a team that can do local builds if we need to. But typically,
local to who though? I mean,
to Florida, Georgia.
Florida, Georgia. Okay.
Florida, Georgia. We can do, and we've even gone as far as North Carolina. But typically, a lot of the jobs we're getting involved on, it's either new construction or remodel. So there's some trades already kind of involved, and so we'll kind of just tailor what they're doing. Now, if we're the integrator, obviously we'll take care of all the low voltage and we'll take care of the interior. But the build out, the framing, the electrical, we're going to work with local trades, or we're going to hire them locally to come in and do the electric, which is beneficial for everybody because we're not trying to make money off of the framing and the electrical. That's just infrastructure. It just needs to get done.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got another question for the posters. How do you get around copyright?
Next question.
Well, Glenn, you do have released a little bit on that list. I know most of those have been released. So, from what I understand. So,
Hey, Magic, I hope you got your answer.
All right, very good. So let's get back to some of the let's get back to the website here so we can see. Oh, by the way, it looks like you're going to have a customer. So for all that, he's going to email you. So
Oh, cool.
oh, cool. Well,
Looking forward
we
to
would
it.
love the opportunity.
Yeah.
let's go back into the website here.
You could look at the Art Deco page is pretty good.
Sure.
And if you're watching, take a look at the website. Let us know which ones are your favorite.
Yeah, for sure. So here's some Art Deco stuff that was designed. Man, look at those chairs. Wow. How'd you even come across those chairs?
Yeah, well, for that project, I just provided the panels. That's called my Chrysler design, and I had to, which is basically a rectangular design, but they needed the arched panels, so I had to modify that design to fit into those niches.
Man, there's some definitely intricate detail. That looks like wood.
It does.
The panels, yeah, I actually use like a wood type of. It looks like wood texture.
Yeah, and it's even got like grain in it and everything
yeah,
else.
it's grainy. It's just a print.
Yeah.
A lot of times, people when they see some of the other designs, the 3D nature of it, they don't understand that it's just a print. There's no depth to it.
So here we go. Here's some pricing on some of the design.
Yeah, that's pricing for the panels.
So 2x4 by 1 inch is $280. 3 foot by 6 foot is $630 plus shipping, and then 4 foot by 8 foot is $795. So if I want 2-inch panels, how much more does that?
About 20% more.
About 20% more. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can customize the colors too. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Customize. Custom sizes and colors are available.
Yeah. So this was the original design that inspired that whole other theater. So you could see this was nice, and then that big theater is kind of like that design on steroids.
Yeah.
This is actually one of my favorite. And besides the classic posters back there, it's just simple. I like
Yeah, it definitely. I love the
No,
images.
it's not
on the
simple.
back
It
wall.
looks simple. There's a lot of work that went into that.
Yeah, no,
No,
there's
but
stuff going
I
on
mean,
there.
in comparison to the other ones, right?
Yeah.
Like I like the grays.
Well, we
or
just
the
finished
blacks.
up.
So,
Yeah, we basically just finished up this theater in Orlando.
Orlando, yeah. Oh, well, too, we did one in Orlando and one in Smyrna Beach. Two variations of that same room.
Yeah, so that's the one that had like the arched ceiling, right?
Angled the ceiling was angled, and then I built the soffit to tamper that down.
And you're you had maybe you can show pictures of that again, Abe, because I mean that's what really sold me on the Guilford of Maine fabric, because I didn't think that it was black enough until you showed me that theater, and I was like, okay, that's the one that I got to go with. But so maybe you can pull that up after we get done.
So
that's pretty cool.
This design, I created that like 2 weeks ago, and on a Thursday, I spent a Thursday on the actual art for the panel, and then on that next day, that Friday, I designed the whole theater around it, and I love this. I love the way this looks. I hope that we could actually build this theater.
Nice.
Yeah, that looks. I really like that. I mean, it looks really good.
Sharp. It's really sharp. I really like that one.
Do you ever put together a concept and say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't put this on the website. I don't think we can build it because it just looks complicated.
Have you met Abe?
Have you met Abe?
Yeah,
met
that's
Abe?
true. That's
I'll
true.
make it work. I'll find a way. Yeah.
Like what I tell everybody is like, I just make pretty pictures. Abe makes them a reality.
Maybe
Yeah.
I just need to
Abe,
turn my
without
window
Abe,
projects over to you, Abe.
Yeah. I have to stress and try to figure out how am I going to build this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he can do it. And let me just shout out to Abe. I'll put Abe's overall knowledge of theaters up against anybody's in the industry. He knows everything. And I am a very lucky person to be able to work with him. So, yes.
I appreciate it. Well, and I enjoy working with you, man. And
You going to give him that $20 later or what, Abe?
Nah, besides that, he's a great guy.
Abe is about to get that pay raise, man.
We enjoy working together. We got a great relationship. We've been doing this for a long time, and it's fun. We both enjoy what we do. So, and it's just just a lot of great opportunities. So, definitely fun.
And Glenn, someone likes your T-shirt, and they want to know if you went to the
Did you see that?
Did you go to the concert?
That's from King Crimson.
Yep.
Those in the know are in the know. Let me just say. And if you know what this is, you were waiting about 20 years, 25 years for this kind of concert, and it didn't disappoint.
Yeah.
I'm out of the know. I thought they were talking about mine, and I responded back in the chat.
That's funny.
That one's
Everybody
pretty
like
cool
your
too.
T-shirts,
Yeah.
right?
The hardest thing for me is to like go black and white because I'm really into colors.
Right.
But the more muted tones actually sell better than the colorful ones.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go simple like that, it's hard.
Man, those are nice. And is this a rendering? This one a rendering, or
This
is that
is one of the OG renderings.
okay?
You should take some of your renderings, your very colorful ones, and then just like shade of gray it and see how.
Well, sometimes I do.
Yeah,
When
okay,
sometimes when I start here I have two
Yeah,
versions.
that looks like it. Oh yeah, you just did
This
that.
is
Yeah,
I think you'll see this one, and hopefully I think the
Looks
next one
good.
is a very colorful version.
That's cool. That's cool.
Oh, maybe not.
Maybe not the exact next one.
Oh, I do have. Well, I didn't put it on there. It should be on there somewhere.
It might be up here,
No,
right
I
there,
don't
right
think.
there.
No, that's not it.
No, that's not it.
That's not the same one.
No.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see a little difference there.
Yeah, it's a little different. So this is just like going crazy.
I mean, this looks, it looks almost 3-dimensional.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Some people will see that and think that it's actually 3-dimensional. It's just using the 3D software to create 2D art.
With the shadows and stuff like that. Yeah, they really look
that's
like they
cool.
really pop. This looks like the what you started off with in your one of the other
Yeah,
pictures there.
Yeah.
That one is another favorite of mine.
This one here.
Yeah, it's like
With
you're
the
on the
cities.
top of Manhattan.
Yep.
Yeah, that's. I love the door too with the classic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Classic.
the same. That's the same door you have to your red room, ain't it?
Yes,
Ah,
absolutely, absolutely.
ah.
And what when you're designing a theater, right? I mean, what carpets do you like to is there a brand of carpet that you choose more than often, or is it just like you go, how do you choose the carpet, right?
Well, yeah, to me, it's like if you have a fairly busy design, then I think the carpet should be very simple. You don't want the carpet and the panel designs fighting each other. Versus if it's if we're not doing any art on the panel, if it's just a Guilford fabric, then I would suggest a more elaborate carpet to give you some more punch in the room. What do we use? A Joy? What do we use a lot?
We have 3 carpet companies that we use. Joy Carpets is one of them, which has a lot of theater, commercial grade carpet. Kane Carpet is another one.
Yeah, Kane. I meant Kane, right? I like Kane.
Kane's another authorized. We're authorized of it, and the other one is. Oh my God, I can't think of the name of it. And we have another company that actually makes some really cool high-end wool carpets out of Ireland, and it's real good stuff. That's the one we did in Schwartz.
But Kane has a nice series of somewhat abstract, but they're muted.
Right.
So they're interesting, but they're not going to fight the rest of the theater.
Yeah, Kane I like. Yeah, they've got probably the nicest assortment of fabrics we use.
Now, do you have to bring in the carpet designs into your software, or does your software like connect to an
No, I
existing
have to go searching around and then get the sample and then make sure that it's tileable. So when you put it in the theater, it doesn't just look like a series of little squares.
Man, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some home design software, because I did that for a little bit.
There's that circle picture you're talking about.
Oh, yes, the ceiling,
The vendors had like if you were paying for the subscription, you had connections to like manufacturers, like
that's cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, like Sherwin-Williams. You'd have all their paint colors. If you were to use them. The carpet, you could, select from their existing carpets, old and new, and then bring it in to the 3D design. So I just didn't know. So you got to do a lot of work. So you have to actually render all of it.
And sometimes Glenn likes to make me work, and he'll design a carpet in a rendering that we do for a client. And then I'm like, "Where'd you get this carpet?" It's like, "I just made it up." I'm like,
yep, that's what I was wondering. I was like,
and then I gotta go find this mysterious carpet.
You're like, great.
Hey, look, you're damn good at that, because I gave you a design and you went and found on the internet where it came from, and the design that I showed you was like, it was literally zoomed way in, because it was a huge like football meeting room, and he comes back, he's like, "Oh, that's so and so's football meeting room," and I'm like,
Missouri, it was Missouri State's meeting room.
And I'm like, how the hell did you find that? How did you even know where that came from?
Because I've seen it, I guess, because I constantly digging, and I remembered that I saw that somewhere, and I knew I'd saw it, and I went looked back at like things I'd saved, and like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, it was crazy. He just, "Oh, is that from here?" I'm like, "Yeah, how'd you know that?" So
yeah, that was from what I remember. That was just a one big solid print as well. They did there in that stadium, in their meeting room.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about, we talked about the design process a little bit, right? So from start to finish, we here I guess this is some of your design and stuff. So I can tell you that, I contacted Abe about coming on the show, and it's because I was a fan of, I didn't know Abe, I was a fan of Glenn's work, right? Just by looking at the pictures and everything else. And I actually contacted Glenn first and said, "Hey, let come on the show. I want to promote your business. I want, to, and I don't know how big you guys are at the time. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like, I just want to do something good for the community, right? I want to try to help promote, help keep this hobby going, right? So I reached out and said, "Hey, come on," and Glenn was like, "Well, maybe Abe might be better for it. Maybe it might be better for this," right? So and now look at Abe. I mean, he's going to be a podcaster soon, right?
Yeah. You created
it was the craziest thing I ever did. I mean, like I never did anything like this, and when Don called me, and I'm like, okay, this might be interesting. And I'm like, I was nervous, actually. I was like, I haven't done anything like this before. And I'm sitting there with my dinky little camera. And remember how crappy it was back? And I'm like, I was like, but it was, I had so much fun because it was just fun talking shop, just,
Yep.
sitting there, and we just talked about home theaters, and it was actually very refreshing because, after a while, me and Glenn talk about it all day long. And then, I mean, my wife, sometimes you want to talk to other people, and so it was fun to just share that, all the experiences we have with other people. And so, yeah, you guys got me hooked. Yeah.
So are you able to share that one design that I talked about, Abe?
Yeah, I am trying to get it to refresh in my iCloud photos so I can just share the screen and then you can see it through there. I have the old photo. I was trying to get the new photos downloaded so you can see the ones he sent me.
Okay.
I guess I can show the old ones right now. Yeah, let me give me just a second to get right where that was.
Yeah. So speaking about the design, I mean, I've mentioned this on the show before. Like I contacted Abe to be on the show, and then just wanted to promote the business. Wasn't looking for anything, anything out of it or anything like that. And then Abe calls me up. He's like, "Hey, I owe you a service." I'm like, "You don't owe me anything." You know what I mean? And he said, "I want to help you, put your theater in CAD and stuff like that." And we're measuring. I mean, I'm already almost 80. I'm almost 90% done with the theater, and we're measuring down to the 16th of an inch for accuracy. At every little window, every the height of the steps, the everything.
'Cause I wanted to recreate his room in CAD. I wanted to know so we could design something. I said I need to. The more precise I can recreate your room in CAD, the more we can kind of really hone in on what we want to do.
Here I thought it was the back end bet that it wouldn't be done till 2029. I'm trying to delay it out, get that.
Yeah, I mean, you're still on it. You're still winning that bet.
Oh, it's still in your favor, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Glenn, the running joke is it's taken me 5 years to build my theater. So that's the running joke here. So
that's
So
what
hopefully-
happens whenever you
I hope you
don't wanna
finish it
pay
before a
for
hurricane gets to you.
drywall work, and then drywall work goes up 10 times what it was when you originally.
yeah. No, I was so cost effective at the time. It was like a guy offered to double drywall and float at level 5 for $4,500. I paid for the material, and then 3 years later, I've hung half of the drywall or myself, and I get a quote to hang half the drywall and float it, and it's like $6,500. I'm like, what's going on here, right? I mean, it's
like, oh,
I should have did it. I should have just paid the guy the damn $4,500 a long time ago.
Talk about penny wise, pound foolish.
Yeah, for sure.
I did find some photos. I think I sent a request to share. I don't know if I did it right.
it's
Either
yeah. We
plus.
just
You have to plus down at the bottom.
Oh no, I think I see the screen. We need to add
it's
it to
down there.
stage.
I'll let you do it. Yeah, you just got to add it.
There we go.
Okay. Is it coming in clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the
Okay,
one.
like
That's the one in Orlando. That's the kind of the Gatsby light, but this had the angled ceiling. I'll go back to a picture. Now these are some pictures the client had sent to me. But yeah, so this is above a garage, and so it had these angled ceilings, and I just didn't like the way they just terminated in the ceiling. I needed something to break it up. So we built this soffit, and then we've got, of course, the surround speaker and solid. We just put a fiber optic ceiling. This is a one-piece fiber optic ceiling, not even a seam in it. It goes from front to back.
Wow.
But just to give it some character, kind of give it some height, some illusion of height, having that tray come in there really helped.
Yeah, I mean, and the one picture that you showed there, I mean, the angle literally disappears. It's like, wow, you barely can tell that it's there.
These pictures, the lighting's kind of light, but when you're in that room and you have the theater lighting in there, you like something like this, you
can't even see it.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
When you're in the room and you got the lighting correctly lit, you don't see any of those angles.
I like this one because you kind of did like almost like a wainscot type of design, on this with the like a, or not like a wainscot, but like a chair mold type of design with the 45-degree
Right.
angles. Yeah, right in there.
Yeah.
That's really cool how you guys
All
did
this
that.
is exposed drywall right here. So this is just
Right.
paint. Actually, I take it back. We took Luan, 1/4-inch Luan, and wrapped it in Anchorage, Guilford Maine Anchorage fabric, and put it on the walls over the drywall, just so we can have a texture. We didn't want drywall. We looked too cheesy. We wanted fabric. We wanted something nice and soft. So we wrapped Luan in Anchorage onyx fabric, and then this is the 1-inch panel with a 45 miter. This is Anchorage graphite. No, excuse me. Anchorage graphite for the chair rail and for the lower panel. And then this, of course, our framed artwork panel that's with a wood frame, and the wood frame matches the millwork, obviously.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah, it looks really good.
for as simple as it is, I mean, just everything is what I love about your designs is everything is just absolutely symmetrical, right? Everything just falls into place. It's symmetrical, pretty much around the entire room. It's spaced very well. Everything's spaced very well. So
Yeah, like our little keystone matches perfectly with the midpoint of the sconce.
right, exactly.
And those are custom made. We get these made. A guy named Miles Indo. I have to give a shout out to him. He custom makes all of these sconces in California, in Malibu, California. And so he's got a shop there, and he made these. And then I wanted them a little bit different dimensions, so he actually tweaked the sizes of them so that we could get just that size. And so if you want somebody to really make some awesome Art Deco sconces, he makes others lighting, but he's a custom lighting guy.
Cool.
And so, and I like to support local artists when I can, or, artists here in the United States.
So do you have like the whole CAD set up for this one, Abe?
Mhm.
Are you able to share that so people can see like what they get with the
Yeah.
drawings?
Yeah, give me a second.
So while we're waiting, it says, "Do you have the crimson?" Let's see. It says, "Do you have the crimson King Crimson?" I can't even speak. Our album art. Can we order without acoustic treatment as a fancy poster? So, do you have to put the backing in there?
No. I guess I could probably get it and print it out, but yeah, tell them to contact me.
Yeah, for sure.
It's funny
Okay.
because, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like with the album covers, you would think, we build these rooms around sound, about getting the ultimate sound, but it's for a visual experience, right?
Yep.
And which is kind of weird, right? And when I started doing the album cover panels, I thought that we would sell a lot because that's another great concept for decor. And it's maybe once a year I get an order for the album covers. It's just kind of weird how things are. Just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is basically,
this
soup
is
to
the-
nuts for your design, right?
Right. So that theater you saw, this was the build plans that it took to build that room. So we started off with, this is just a general information page. So this is the reflected ceiling plan overlaid over the floor plans, so we can see how the reflected ceiling plan lines up with the elements on the floor plan. Because we're obviously looking for symmetry. We're looking for some order to how we want things laid out. So that rectangular thing, that's the fiber optic ceiling area you saw in the ceiling. And so we wanted to see how it aligns and if it's symmetrically placed with everything else in the room. And that's just the floor plan. So we wanted to get the seating layout. This is a very small room. In fact, the client even got rid of these. It's just 3 seats, and we just even made these 3 individuals. It changed. So super simple. It's basically him and his wife. that
Those
they
those seatings those were the ones from like Seating for You or something like that.
and
or-
these are Palliser. These are Palliser.
no, I'm talking about
Palliser-
the ones they got rid of.
yeah, some
The real low back ones, right? They're
Mhm.
real
Like
low
a-
to the ground.
like a tub chair.
Yep. mhm.
Yeah.
So this, like I said, was an existing room above the garage that we remodeled, and then we kind of cut some space out of the only place we could put the rack. We created a little AV closet so we can put the rack up there as well. But that shows the soffit framing, how we built the soffits, and the dimension location where all the down lights and the speakers have got to go.
And this even shows the studs and everything like that. So you could take this design and hand it to your contractor, right?
Yeah, and then I will make several sets of this to speak to the framer, to speak to the electrician. So we're all going off that same set of plans, so we can talk to so. You're looking at section details like through the soffit, how the soffit build and the cold molding detail and the fiber optic ceiling that's on the ceiling there. And these are JBL. I think these are SSW3s, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And then these are SCL3s, LCRs, 130-inch Stewart screen. This was a rear wall elevation. Now, all these speakers are obviously hidden behind the screen or behind the fabric.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is like the artwork that I was saying, where we'll notch the acoustic material around that artwork panel so the speaker can still blow through the fabric there. Left wall elevation, right wall elevation, left wall elevation. Sight line showing you the throw distance from the projector to the screen, your sight line. All this is all figured out so we can see exactly how that looks. You have 34 degrees horizontal sight line. You got I forgot to put the measurement there, but yeah, you can see your horizontal sight line and your vertical sight line. They're all pretty good. Seating information. And then we start getting into build details. So like, here's the framing details. So so in this case, this is a truss layout. It's above a garage. So these trusses, you can't move them. They're part of the structure of the house. They're truss. So I measured every single truss location and recreated that in CAD so I can see exactly how I was going to make this room work and where I could put speakers based on how the truss layout and where my seating was. And then I also worked with JBL, and we kind of came to consensus of what's the best location based on what type of speakers we're using. So these are SCL7s for sides and rears. And then we get into like dimension location for where the sconce is got to go. So this would be like a page I have to talk to the electrician on. Okay, I want to make sure, 6 foot 0 1/8 from the framing is where you're going to put the junction box. And it's going to be 6 foot 1/8 off the floor. I need it right there so that it falls right in the pilaster you saw where that sconce was.
Right.
So then I go and measure to make sure they did that. So this is all the details there. This shows we put 2 structured wiring enclosures behind the equipment rack. So all our wiring is run into those, and then the 2 racks will hide it. But so, section details. These are your elevation sections, and kind of like how it's built around the lights and how that looks there and how the drywall interacts with the millwork. So it's just a lot of details.
Yeah, tons of detail.
Lots of
Here's
you can throw something together, but it's like, okay,
here's
now
the door seal, the door.
the devil's in the detail, right? Oh
Yeah.
because that's what you need to know about.
There's
Oh,
your
I need this, all the little things that people don't think about.
You'd be amazed at how much shit that goes into this. A lot of stuff.
Mhm.
Like here, just the threshold at the door. Here's our mortise door bottom for isolating sound at the door. How we're going to transition from the carpet that's in the theater to the wood floor on the outside, or in this case, this is whatever the floor. I think it was actually we changed it to wood outside the theater. But then here, electrical is here's our zone layouts. Like zone 1 is your actually this is zone 4. Yeah, so we have like light switches here. So it'll say zone 1 is the front down light. Zone 2 is the general daylight. Zone 3 is the transformer for LED step lights, and zone 4 is the sconces. So we'll go through all the electrical. So there's a ton of stuff, and then here's a schedule with that. So that's
Yeah.
just that little tiny room, and it's
I
got
mean,
that much detail.
you even drew the commode in there, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
in
like
to scale too.
It's an important room.
just
Yeah,
scale,
yeah, it's
you
to
know?
scale. And the
He's
sinks
even got the
scale.
commode. He could have just wrote bathroom, right? But no, he had to draw the commode and
It's
the
right there. Yeah. Well, we got to make sure,
for sure.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
so a lot of work goes into them. So, this is basically the same procedure for every theater. Some theaters are only, in this case, 26 pages. Some theaters are 150. Depends on how much details we got. The one brewer was an insane amount of details because we had a suspended ceiling that had isolation clips, and we had to do a hat channel layout, and it was a lot of stuff because it was a kind of everything was built inside the room. So that, it's like a room within a room type thing.
Man.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, well, thanks for sharing that. Definitely appreciate it. And that obviously, the more detailed, the more pages you get, the more costly it's going to be. I'm sure, right? So when you're talking about 28 pages, I'm sure it's not going to be your flat $4,500 fee for that, right? So
yeah, and so that theater was probably comfortably in that $4,500 range. Yeah. I don't think we exceeded the hours that we'd estimated for that one. It was that design was pretty straightforward. But it turned out great. The client loves it, and it sounds amazing. We had JBL just there 2 weeks ago dialing it in, and when they were done with it, because all these synthesis systems, I always get JBL, those guys to come out and calibrate it because they've heard so many of them.
mhm.
They can just come in there and they know what to do, and then I don't have to think about it. And then when they leave, it just sounds incredible. And so I'm like, hey, I'm happy. My client's happy. I'm happy. We're all good. So
For sure. So Glenn, we really appreciate you joining us tonight. I know you had a hard out, and it's already way past that hard out. So I apologize for that. But that happens when we get talking home theater, right? It's just a conversation. It just continues to flow, And I don't know if you want to hang on, because we're going to talk a little bit more stuff here, but you're more than welcome to. But if you have to jump off, we definitely appreciate you being on the show today. But you're more than welcome to stay or join with additional. If you could just tell them where to reach you, and how to reach out to you about your panels and even other home theater design stuff. So
yeah, so 3dsquared.com will actually be forwarded to Home Theater Design Concepts, which is what you were looking at, and that has all the information and actually obviously my contact information. So appreciate anybody who wants to call us and have a conversation about their project. We're very user friendly and very easy to work with. So I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you guys and whoever else is listening out there. And I think my wife would appreciate if she can go to sleep soon.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to have to get out of here because I'm right next to my bedroom.
yeah, no problem.
Probably sleeping in the living room right now.
I'm sorry that we carried on this long, but like I said, you just keep going. We can just keep talking, and as you can tell, if you let Paul talk in the beginning of the show, he'll
that's an extra hour right there.
To be continued 3D models.
So Glenn, you have the link to the show. So anytime you feel the need to join and just talk shop or whatever,
you have to come back and show us your art.
Hopefully, we'll work on some really, really cool projects that we come out here and talk in detail about those projects. So I look forward to it.
Yeah, we're neighbors, so I mean, you got to come over, check out the theater.
Check out the theater.
Yeah, you got to go check
out that 90%.
So Glenn, do you have a theater? Do you have a theater in your house?
Nah. I'm one of those people. I can't afford my own product.
Well, it's it's kind of like the landscaper never cuts his grass, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
if you're working on this stuff all day, I can definitely understand it for sure.
Yeah. But again, I appreciate everything and hope you guys have a great night. And we will see you guys soon.
Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Love your work. Really do enjoy it. So
appreciate it. Thank you guys.
I'll get some sleep.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, bye-bye.
But
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Man, it's great to pick his brain. I mean, just because I don't, Paul, I know you do a lot of photography and stuff like that, so you kind of got that eye, right? So
Well, yeah, I
you
took
understand what it
several
is.
years of art, so I was going to be more of a graphics design artist in school. That was my original intent. So I'm actually, even whenever we did those SAT eval tests, like it came back as, hey, you need to be an interior designer, a graphics artist, blah blah blah. And there's a lot more starving artists than there are engineers. So I
Right.
ended up being an
Yeah,
engineer
So
instead somehow.
you chose food over.
It's kind of
Dude,
great.
I just
I'm
showed
not-
my wife. I was watching a TikTok literally like 10 minutes before I came back downstairs to put my son to bed. I mean, and this guy, or it was a TikTok, he's just throwing paint on a canvas, right? Like this, just splashing it on a canvas. And then he takes like a putty knife and he literally created like a whole city scene with a putty knife and just splashing paint on the wall. And I was like, how in the did you even come up with that? You know what I mean?
The ones that impress me is where they're doing all this artworort
And then flip it
they'll
around.
turn it upside down, and you're like, dude, like it's one thing to
Come on,
have
right?
that eye, but
Yeah.
to have that eye upside down to where
Yeah.
when you
But,
turn
and it works out good because like for him, like I'm nowhere near as artistic as him. So I rely on him to kind of, okay, give me the color palettes, give me this look and feel. And then I'm more analytical. Let me just, okay, how do I build it? How do I construct it? And I know of course I know the AV. So that's my other thing. So I just have to make it reality. But without him, that's why it's a great combination because he takes care of kind of that vision at our work, and then I make it work. And so we just
it is
Yeah,
its
and
own
that's me.
thing.
I can build shit, right? I
Yeah.
can figure. I'm like you. I can figure it out, right? I'll do a couple tests. Like I'm still pondering how I'm going to do these window plugs, right? So I'm still figuring it out. And I could just make a plug that you put in and put out, but then I got to make it more complicated because then my wife's got to be able to operate it, to move it, to get the
Right,
sunlight
yeah.
in there, to do it, just because I'm in my own head, right? So
Right.
it's like this is what I want, right? So I'll figure that shit out. But the design stuff, like I said, it's just like analysis paralysis, right?
Yeah, it
It's
happens.
like, gosh, man, I just want to be able to look at something, and I can look at something and say, okay, this is how I want it to be. I can build it. But when it comes, and I can foresee stuff, which my wife has a hard time of picturing stuff. Once like my whole theater design was in my head the whole entire time, and I'm showing her this is going to be here, this is going to be there, and then finally when it comes to fruition, she's like, oh, okay, I can see that now. You know what I mean? I can see all that stuff, but just putting the final, I don't want to say women's touches, but just putting the final color palette and stuff like that to make it inviting is what I find the most difficult, And Glenn's just got the eye for that, man. He really does. Those even though some of those were renderings or that he put together. I mean, they're just I'm sure they'll come to fruition someday. You know what I mean? Because they're just so well done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he definitely got it. Yeah.
Yep.
So, we skipped over the movie section. I've already told you that I had a super busy week. So, unfortunately, the only thing that I was able to watch was the season finale of Beast Games.
Mm.
The one thing that Ike says I'm the only one watching, but this guy
He must be. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, man. This guy obviously got tons of money from Prime to make this series. So, so it was. I enjoyed that series. I mean, I encourage you guys to watch that. It's kind of like a Squid Game type of mixture between that and Survivor and Ninja Warrior and everything else like this. So I enjoyed it. So go check that out on Prime if you got Amazon. If you're an Amazon Prime member, it's free for you, right? So you get to watch Prime for free.
Yeah.
So
I went a little old school. I found a movie that actually I didn't think I would like, but it was kind of interesting. It was an old movie, 1954, Charlton Heston and Eleanor. I
Oh,
can't think of her
God.
name.
This might be too
Called the
far back
Naked
for me to
Jungle. The Naked
naked,
Jungle.
the naked jungle.
Yes, it's about a guy
don't
who's
think
opened
I've
a
seen that
cocoa
one.
plantation.
Look at Ike. Ike's looking it up. You're already talking his language.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of Ike too, because I know I like old movie stuff. This was a pretty interesting movie and a very obscure role. Was that the Naked Jungle?
No,
Yeah.
that's the new Excalibur.
It's like that would be shocking if it was.
Yeah, that would be crazy if he had that.
That would have
in
been nuts.
For the 4K.
The old school Blob.
Yeah,
Oh
that-
yeah, well I went up you. I got the 4K. I got the Naked Jungle 4K.
Yeah.
Let me pull that original reel out of the back closet.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a pretty interesting movie, but it had a twist to it. There was I didn't know where this movie was going, and all of a sudden it switches, and then they're getting invaded by this army of ants that's basically devouring everything in the jungle, and he has to save his cocoa plantation. And it's a crazy movie, but it was just an oddball of a movie for Charlton Heston. So definitely, if you like old movies, check out the Naked Jungle.
I'll have to check that out.
It's kind of interesting,
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to check that one out. Maybe. I don't know. It's tough for me to watch old movies nowadays.
I love the old movies.
Oh, they're the best, man.
They are the best.
This is the limited edition of the Excalibur.
Some of the older movies sometimes to
just
me are better because they're more
out this week, right? The 4K version.
They're more story driven as opposed to
There's dialogue. There's dotted dialogue.
Yeah. Again, it's like some movies that come out like Ungentlemanly Warfare, right? Like that was a good movie, but there wasn't character building and dialogue that would get you more into a character, right? It was just, oh, this is a cool action movie. You know what I mean?
I was going. You may reminded me of something. The first time I kind of felt that someone got the idea of character development and dialogue after so many years of old movies was the very first time I saw Pulp Fiction. And Quentin Tarantino did just such a marvelous job of bringing back awesome dialogue, great character development, and it was a breath of fresh air at the time because there was nothing like that. It reminded me so much of the old school movies where there was such a pivotal part of the movie. Plus, you had all the cool violence and everything else that he brought to the table. So I definitely earned a instant kudos to him on that because it's still one of my favorite movies. But I just remember being in such awe of that the very first time I saw it. It's like it was such a breath of fresh air. See,
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I mean, he did it somewhat with Reservoir Dogs and everything, but Pulp Fiction just popped. It just really was perfect in every sense.
It was the one that
so
you can't miss anything on that one.
No, it was great.
So Scotty, I appreciate you being on the show. I know that it's been a while, but and we took up a lot of time for Abe and Glenn. But what have you been working on, man? I know that you've been in the chat kind of heavily of the Home Theater Hub chat. What you been working on over there?
Well, the geek that is hacking other people's software because he's frustrated and not actually sitting back and enjoying his movies. So I have a couple of TVs that are Android based, and Android based TVs have a problem with Dolby Vision 7, which comes from like UHD 4K rips. So you can have, I was running Jellyfin, and there's been a lot of complaints on Jellyfin and Dolby Vision. So over the last couple of days, I took the Jellyfin client, ripped it apart, hacked into where the player was doing the Dolby Vision side, stripped out the layer 2, recombined the layer 2 into one layer, then rewrote rewrote it so when it's distributed to the TV thinks it's Dolby Vision 8.1, which is compatible because that's what your streaming services run on.
Oh.
And so therefore, instead of getting HDR, now I get Dolby Vision. Now, there's a couple of clients that already do it, and so the new version of Jellyfin attempts to do it, but it fails more than I wanted it to, and it was super frustrating. And I'm like, screw it, I'm just gonna hack the software, rewrite it, and so I think it
Couldn't
was
you just buy a new $200 TV, Scott?
so last night. I published the code and released it and put it up on GitHub, and people can try it out. It's working.
That's awesome, dude. I mean,
That's-
that's super
That's an
cool.
engineer for you. All right, you MFers. Oh,
And like, it's been a request for like 10 years, and I'm like, come on, it can't be that hard.
I don't even know what jellyfin is, so I'm just going to be
So it's
honest.
like Plex.
It's like
It's a
Plex.
jellyfish.
So you know how Plex,
It's
Plex on
yeah.
a TV that doesn't.
You know what Cody
support-
is, right?
Yeah, I know
Like a
what it
home
is. It's
media.
like,
Yeah, Jellyfin is like a fork.
oh,
Cody.
okay.
So
I-
Cody,
There's
MB,
MV, Jellyfin, you know.
Plex.
oh, okay, yeah.
They're all,
Plex. They're all based on Cody. Yeah.
they're all based on.
Okay, yeah. I haven't played around with that in
So
years.
Cody has that option where you can force it in, but honestly, like I was looking at the two different packages, and Cody is cool, but it doesn't really work well for like streaming remotely. So Jellyfin's a good option, kind of like Plex.
Mm.
And Cody's like you got to be kind of geeked out, right? Like the menuing is just crazy on that thing.
Isn't that what that device that you had, Ike? What was that device that you used as kind of like a processor for a little while
Oh, I got one right here.
to
Yeah,
to
the
transfer?
HD Fury.
Where is it?
Yeah, the HD Fury. Yeah. So
Mhm.
basically, you rewrote what the HD Fury was doing, right?
Did I?
Yeah.
For Jellyfin.
No,
is what he's
no.
saying.
I mean, HD
I
Fury
mean,
is
it's
a
not
bit
doing
different,
LODV,
different,
right? You're
right?
just doing 8.1.
Yeah.
So basically, I made Jellyfin do kind of what Cody does, but
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more advanced. You know?
Mm.
Because it's still going to be TV led, I guess,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
instead of playing.
So I mean, like
led.
honestly, like so if you look at like your ZDoo, right? It supports DV7, right? But it's also stripping some layers to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Or
playing
you're
led,
looking
so-
at your Shield. It does a similar kind of method. It's not doing like the full.
So you're not getting lossless Dolby Vision, is what you're saying?
You're removing part of it, right?
And I'm going to ask a
Bring
double
it back
question.
together.
Is this for getting interfacing with movies you have on your NAS drive or your hard drive, or is this for downloading or streaming movies you're getting from someplace?
No, this is for movies on your hard drive, right? So
Like,
you
how
can hit
easy
up
is it to
Netflix,
do,
you
or-
can hit up Amazon Prime, and they show up Dolby Vision, right? Or Apple TV. But if you were to try to stream it from your NAS, a lot of times you can't get Dolby Vision from your NAS because
Oh, okay.
it'll come up as HDR, right? And
Mhm.
sometimes it comes up as HDR, and there's not even tone mapping from the original Dolby Vision, so you lose a lot of those enhancements. So
Mm.
my goal is to bring those enhancements back, and it does it in real time. It's
It's a player limitation.
it's a player limitation. Yep,
It's not.
Oh,
the,
okay. All
well,
right.
player / TV limitation, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I
yeah.
say,
The
can't you just buy a different
the
TV?
TV's not licensed for your Dolby Vision 7. It's only probably licensed for Dolby Vision 5 and Dolby Vision 8. Those are the two that are primarily used for streaming services.
Oh, okay.
And streaming services equals not quite as good quality, right?
Mhm.
All around, especially in the audio side.
Now you published this, right? So
I did.
do you charge anything for that? Is there a donation for it, or
I mean, the Jellyfin project's
Yeah.
open source, so I just published it back up, and it's open source, free to the people. So
You
it's-
can always
that's what I did.
donate to
I
anybody.
can always
people.
donate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like something that annoyed me is, and I fixed. Someone else can
That's
benefit
cool.
from it, or if maybe Jellyfin themselves wants to bring it back into their code, they can go ahead. They're probably going to look at it and go, "Who the hell's this sloppy coder?" But hey, it works. And
Yeah,
if they
Yeah.
wanna
that's all
yeah.
that matters, man. It
if they
works.
want to clean it up and do whatever, they can do that.
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool.
Open source, they can figure it out.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, how about you, Paul? Were you able to watch any movies this weekend or this week? What have you been
Yeah,
up to?
yeah, I did. Now that Jessica's on her hiatus, we don't go out partying all weekend. So we
Well,
actually watched.
you seem to be, and I'm surprised I haven't gotten a slew of emails asking where Paul's segment is at the beginning of the podcast. Nobody's requested where did Paul's beer go?
Yeah, what
know,
you
so-
yeah.
So I know that you've been
Well, during this time, maybe you should review non-alcoholic beers and then get and give us some feedback on some O'Douls that you tried.
Disgusting.
That would be more traumatizing for Paul.
No, I'll start reviewing tea and coffees.
there you go.
Mhm.
The caffeine-free coffees. I ain't doing no non-alcoholic beers.
You should really try this O'Douls. It's quite lovely.
I mean, if I'm gonna get the carbs, I might as well get the alcohol with it. I'm not just gonna go I'll just drink a Coke.
So that's what this is all about. You're choosing to eat a little bit cleaner and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, basically. I mean, no, we're not. We're not hardcore. Like, oh, we're never ever gonna drink again. It's just, we've tried everything, and we've been to our favorite spots, and there's like nothing new. You know what I mean? Because I'm always as many times as I've brought new stuff on here and showed it. Right? We've had thousands more.
Right.
Like, I mean thousands, but it's getting to the point to where we've had so many, we're taking a break. So when we go back, or maybe on the weekends, or like when we go camping or something like that, I'm gonna have some beer and stuff. But hopefully there's something new that I haven't had before. You know what I mean? Because it's
Right.
like, hey, it's all about iterate. New is great. That's very rare. Different iterations is always cool too. But I mean, we hit a roadblock to where we've had, like I said, thousands of different, iterations. So it's like, man, it's like you just get burnt out, because it's like, well, now it's the same stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, all right, then, all right, let's just stop for a while.
So
It's
maybe you should move over to municipal weed.
and I don't do
I'm just
weed.
messing with you.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's it's been mentioned before. It doesn't get along with me. I'm not a
Or probably you probably wouldn't even do so gummies. There you go. Move over to some different gummies.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't do that. I'm not into it. Doesn't I don't like it. Doesn't do anything for me.
So you ain't get the right gummy.
So Magic, congratulations, 5 years sober,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's an
5 years is
accomplishment.
amazing, man. Yeah,
For sure.
keep it up.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Yeah, don't watch me.
Don't
go
have
by
friends
me.
like me and Paul at
no.
M Wave and Scottio says order me a beer. Don't have friends like us, because somehow you'll end up with a dark chocolate beer that's 17% alcohol.
I'm still paying for that new.
He's like, man, I think I lost a section of liver. Like, what was in that? I was like, oh, a lot.
I'm never compelled to drink. Like me and my wife, we don't drink a lot at all. Like we bought, I think we like during the holiday around Thanksgiving, I think we bought 1 12-pack of Heineken or whatever, and it's still there. Like it's since November. It's like it's probably no good no more. But it's like. I've never we
Every
don't
now and then I'll sit down, and have a beer with dinner if we go out, or a glass of wine or something like that. But it's not something that I come home and I just pop a top every day.
Yeah,
You know?
we were doing the craft, like just a regular beer. No, I stopped doing that. Like that's
I like a good
20
beer
years
with
ago. I
dinner.
haven't had a regular beer, because regular beer, I'm just like,
it's boring.
I just have a Coke.
I mean, a nice Stella with a dinner, like super almost ice cold Stella, or you know, or like a Modelo or something like that with dinner, man. That's
Yeah,
me,
sometimes it's
that's
just the
great.
vibe, you know,
Yep.
sometimes
Yeah.
it's just the vibe, you know. So, but anyways, so beyond that, you know, we had plenty of time. So we actually partaked in 3 movies.
Ooh, look at this. He's got them written down. Look at him reading.
I know I have to read them because I can't remember shit. And I don't know why. It's so dumb. It's
Jessica's on the
I
side.
gotta-
He's
with
got, he's got the teleprompter.
yeah, I got a
It's
teleprompter
good
telling
writing
me
out.
what did I watch this week, or I will forget.
But it is amazing how you forget it. Like I just watched a movie yesterday that I can't remember. I remember the Neck of Jungle one, but there was another one I watched with this kid from the guy who played Elvis, the kid who played Elvis.
Mhm.
And I forgot it. I forgot the movie.
I know. I can
I
tell
wish
you
I
all
would've
about
wrote it
the movie. I could, you know, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh,
but I
what
don't know
the
the name
hell's
of
the name of it? Crap.
That means
You
it
know?
wasn't that memorable.
Well, pretty much.
Yeah. So we watched Mercy
Oh, the new one. Yeah, that's quite
with
expensive on
Chris Pratt.
on
That was pretty-
Kaleidoscape.
That was pretty interesting. I mean, it wasn't anything new or unexpected, you know, to be honest. But that was you know, that was one of those sixers, you know.
Mhm.
Like
Okay.
yeah. Then we watched One Battle After Another.
I haven't seen that one. You liked it?
Yeah, that one was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Very blurry. Oh.
So Kaleidoscape is pretty proud of that one. It's
Oh,
$34.99 for that one.
No.
So that one's on the you can see on the top here. That's my wish list. The orange star.
Gotcha.
Jeez,
So-
that's
okay,
like steelbook prices right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
so
amazing.
that's one of the more expensive ones that has come out on Kaleidoscape, and I think it's still in theaters. I think too, right? I
Is
think
it?
I think it's still in theaters. That's why it's so expensive.
Maybe that's
Yeah, no, that one's on the wish list until it drops to like $14.99 or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So,
And honestly, that's where I would put that one. The
Yeah.
I
$14.99.
think it's $28 on
Yeah,
Amazon
yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
yeah.
And
But-
then I watched, and I did not watch this for the longest time just because of the slipcover art. Oh, I guess that somehow I got turned down.
No, we can hear.
I watched Begonia.
Oh, there you go.
It's on my list to watch.
I actually liked that.
Thank you.
That one was a good
Begonia?
Begonia. Yeah.
Begonia.
Not a flower, right?
But
A
I was
flower.
thinking the same thing. I was looking at the artwork and I'm like, I don't know.
No,
Like,
no,
this
ignore
is
it.
stupid.
Let's put it this way. Ignore the artwork. It has nothing to do with it. I don't
Not a
know
gardener?
why they chose that artwork.
No.
That's completely unrelated to the movie.
Okay.
Now the question is, did you listen to the credits like I told you?
Yeah, dude, my comment to Jessica was, this is what the fuck Don thinks is a mate. Like, okay, it's Atmos. Big deal. I hear the nature.
But it's the credit. They
No,
took-
but
they
I
took
think
the
it's because
time to
you
put
were
it in the
expecting
credit.
it, right, Paul?
Right, yeah, probably.
No, I
so.
wasn't. I realized, oh yeah, this is why Don said watch this. I like the movie way better than I did the freaking credits.
No, I love the movie. I thought the movie was
I thought
great.
you were saying, oh, you should. Is this the movie? Which of the movies? As you said, well, the movie's not that good, but the credits you got. I thought this is what that movie was.
No, this one I did enjoy the movie
Okay,
thoroughly.
that
you
must
know,
be a
What?
different movie because I was like, the credits isn't what makes this movie. The movie is what makes this movie. This is a good movie, you know.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it for sure. But I guess like you said, like it surprised the shit out of me. Like you got credits rolling and you got all of a sudden birds start chirping and then did you stay for the thunderstorm too?
I fast forwarded to that part. I didn't let
Okay.
it build up.
I see.
You know,
While credits are rolling, they're just doing crazy shit with surround sound.
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
They're doing
That's
some front
cool.
height work for sure. You know, like
Oh,
it's-
okay.
Yeah, and it's
That's
like
pretty cool.
what engineer, what movie company is going to spend the
Mhm.
money to engineer that for credits?
Well,
Right,
that's
so
how they
that-
were. That's how they were able to say that. Hey, we're a Dolby Atmos movie because our credits are in Dolby Atmos.
Is that the only section of the movie in Atmos?
Yeah, that's it.
Ah,
Credit.
man, that would be messed up.
Honestly, there's a couple.
Yeah, there's a
sounds,
couple
but
good
yeah,
explosions.
honestly, yeah, the credits is where the Atmos is. I mean, there's a couple other things that they do, but it's nothing that you're gonna be like,
Yeah,
quiet
it's not a home theater,
Yeah,
reference
Yeah,
disc.
it is.
The movie is better than the soundtrack, but it's just it was very surprising to me that
Let's just
someone
caught you
actually
off guard.
took
You
the
wouldn't
time to put this in the credits, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
To
Let's
run,
put it this way. All I can say without spoiling the movie.
yeah, that you can't say much.
No, I'm not gonna say. This is like a psychological thriller. But the next time I watch it, it's gonna be a comedy.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. You
That's all I can. That's all, dude. And that will never make sense unless you've seen this movie.
No, it doesn't make
Mhm.
it
I
just
was
left me
oh
like
my god.
it just left me like what the you know what I mean?
Well, but it's not even. I didn't get spoiled on it at all, but I kind of already saw where it was going. So
Cool.
that's where I was like, oh, dude.
Yeah, it's tough.
You-
It's tough. It's
you
worth to
know-
watch. It's my favorite movie of the year last year. As
Oh,
far as,
wow. Yeah.
as far as,
It-
far
it-
as the
it's worth a
story.
watch. It's worth a
It's-
watch. Without
It sounds like I blind watched everything everywhere all at once, and I was just like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now is that where is it?
No idea.
Is anybody streaming that movie right now? Is it on Netflix? Is it on Prime? Is it
Yeah.
somewhere?
I haven't
Amazon,
seen
the
it.
Aren't
4K
you
is on
signed on to
Amazon.
Plex Emporium?
Plex.
Yeah.
The 4K is on Amazon.
Yeah,
Amazon.
so the movie itself is worth the watch. Like I said, it's not a true home theater experience, but
Yeah, no.
it's definitely top
It's a
two
dialogue.
movies for
It's
me.
a dialogue driven movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
it's a
top
dialogue.
two movies for me, just because of like I said, I was like, what the
Yeah.
so and I literally sat there in my seat like at the end of the movie, just dumbfounded, like,
Yeah.
and that's how I heard the
You're just like-
credits. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
Okay.
it was
All right, now I'm
Check it
interested.
out.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Scott, you will appreciate this movie.
Yeah.
Again,
Well, I mean, you know
have
my
to-
taste just by the weird crap.
You have to pay
Yeah.
attention to the movie.
Right.
Like
Hmm.
it's one that you have to commit to the time. Ignore the cover, dude. If this was a different cover, because I thought, oh man, this is like some horror movie, and I was like, I'm not watching.
That's
a
what it
horror
looks like, right? It looks
Nope,
like
I heard
not
Begonia
at
was thinking,
the
wow.
furthest thing from it.
okay.
Like not at all.
All right, I'm down. It's on
Yeah.
my list.
check it
Yeah,
out
I
for
mean,
sure.
yeah,
gonna
it
write
should
it
go.
down,
It
too.
should move up the list. Let's put it that
All
way.
right.
I mean,
Have to check it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I would definitely put this in my nomination for top movie of 2025.
yeah,
for-
it
for
was.
sure.
I gotta say, it was a 7. Like I said, 6 is most movies are gonna get that. 7 means, oh yeah, I recommend that you watch this.
Is
Huh?
this
Yeah, I would put it up in this 8 range where the Rotten Tomatoes are. I would put it up there.
Yeah,
Really?
I could see that. Yeah, for sure. For
Does
sure.
it fall into the range of wait until the kids are asleep before you watch
Yeah.
it?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Just because of some of the violence, not because of any. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Oh wow. So Smile 2 has end credit audio for us as well. That's cool. I have to check that
all
out.
right.
I'll check
I will
that
not
out.
be watching that one because I know that's no.
That's
I'm
your
not doing that.
psychological.
Yeah, that
horror
is a
movie.
horror movie. Like, nope.
That's on my list to watch too. So
Yeah,
all right.
I've
So
seen
you
that
had that. You had Begonia.
Yeah, Begonia, One Battle After Another, and Mercy.
How is one battle after the other? Because that's a fairly new movie. Didn't that win? I think that won an Oscar, right?
And then
A couple
Leonardo
It-
DiCaprio.
Was
Yeah.
nominated for a bunch of Oscars. It
Yeah,
was
it's
it was
Leonardo
a good
DiCaprio movie,
movie.
right?
Yeah, it was a good movie. It was long. But I don't know how to explain that one. It's that scene.
I watched the previews. The previews on that one's kind of like I want to watch it, but it's just kind of
okay. There you go. Whatever vibe you're getting from the previews, that's pretty much the movie.
yeah.
And it's long.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. So it's not a bad movie. It's actually a really good movie, and it speaks a lot because of the time. I think if it wasn't for the current political temperature and stuff, the movie would have a lot less meaning or a lot less impact. But just because of, and the sad part is a lot of the stuff in that movie that that's totally BS is probably more true than the world actually wants to know. And it's nothing like unrealistic. It's just there's no way there's that many back end handshakes, and it's like probably more true than should be. Let's put it that way. So, but yeah.
Ike, when are you gonna get around to watching that Excalibur?
I'm hoping for this weekend. So I did get to watch Sinners this week.
Oh, you watched Sinners?
Yeah.
Nice.
How'd you like that?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like that too.
I don't know if I'll hype it as much as people hyped it, but I actually enjoyed it. I wasn't disappointed. And then
I'm surprised you went to that genre.
So, I mean,
that's vampires, though.
Now I'm having to.
Yeah,
I'm a little more open into watching certain things because now I can get to talk about them, right? Because we will talk about some of these things on the show. So
right,
yeah, and then I do that in the day in the morning.
Did you have your blanket with you?
I always do. Always do. But yeah, you're not gonna find me watching it in the evening, right? I watch it long enough so I can forget about it.
Before you go to bed at night. Yeah. Hey, that's probably a good idea. I should try to watch a scary movie like at 6 a.m. instead of
that's probably still too early.
9 p.m. right before bed as I'm falling asleep.
Got my mug of coffee and a movie.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man. So you were able to take in Sinners. I agree with you. It was hyped up a lot. I think.
Yeah, I think it was just overhyped.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I enjoyed it, but the music scene that everybody talks about is pretty good. It definitely.
I loved it for the music.
Yeah,
that for me is what made that movie, and
for
just
sure.
the artwork and the presentation of it. Of the movies.
I mean, him playing two different characters was awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan playing
was amazing.
Two different characters was very good.
Oh yeah, that's that's.
Let me tell you what, that guy's come a long way, man. Just the roles he's played is pretty amazing. He keeps getting some good ones
for sure.
Yeah, and then maybe I can finish the Badlands this weekend too.
Oh yeah.
Because I want to watch it.
I would. Consensus.
I didn't finish it. I started and I woke up, so I'm like, okay, I gotta rewatch it and watch it at reference, and I want to do that over the weekend.
Yeah, so. Predator Badlands is the home theater experience of the year so far.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know. You got this, but guess what's better than that?
Happy Gilmore.
Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah, we have Pinky and the Brain.
I did watch the new Naked Gun. Have you guys watched that?
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
It's pretty good. Is it? I mean, if you enjoyed the old ones,
of course.
Right up there. I mean, it's like spot on. I was,
I guess I should give it a chance because I just did the first time I ever heard Liam Neeson is in this movie. I'm like, I'm not watching this. It just
Just
doesn't
did a
make
good
sense for him.
job.
But I guess maybe I got to give it a shot because I mean, who's going to stand? You know,
You got to
nobody's
just
gonna
get
do as good
over of like who that it's a replacement of character, right? Like, but he does a really good job with the character.
Nah, maybe I got to be open
I'm
minded.
still waiting to pull the trigger on this one, Paul. Your one from last week.
Oh yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
actually on special now for $14.99.
There you
So
go.
it came on.
Oh, is that
Uh,
the one? That's the
Caught
movie.
Stealing.
That's
Yeah.
the movie I
That's the
watched.
one you watched called Stealing.
Yeah, that's the one with the guy from who played Elvis, right?
Yeah, I think
I
Yeah,
so.
the guy he played. Didn't he?
Yep.
Didn't he have the actor who played Elvis in the
It's
Elvis movie biopic? What's his face?
Yeah, I don't know.
the
Cast and
previews
crew. I
have
don't
him,
think
and
that's
the
him.
previews have him going into that apartment, and
Mhm, yeah.
he gets in all
Yeah,
kinds
I
of
watched that
stuff.
movie. It's yeah, I won't say nothing. It's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good, but again, it wasn't a. It was again a 6. It was like, yeah, it's a good movie, but it was like,
Meh.
that's not one that I was like, oh, you got to watch this.
Yeah, no, I mean it's on Netflix right now for free. So it's kind of hard for me to
I
pay
watched it because it
14.
was Netflix. Yeah.
It might. It's kind of hard for me to pay $14.99 for it when I know it's for free.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's not. If it were something that I would say, okay, I'm going to make a script of, and for demo material, yeah, I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
Well, yeah, and that's what I did, right? I watched Badlands, on a streaming service, I think, and then I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to get that, and I'm gonna rewatch it probably with the
Several
full
times.
non-compressed audio, and
Bless you.
it's gonna be way better.
I want to go over to Mr. Long's theater or something and watch that one. I want to check that one out.
Oh,
Well, when you come down this month, we can put it on for sure.
that's
all right.
crazy.
Yeah.
There's two excuse me, there's two scenes right in the beginning that there's a sword that literally flies right over your head. I mean, it's spatial audio 100%.
Mhm.
There's one that comes right in front of your face, just crazy.
They did a really good job with the use of surround.
Yeah, I mean the movie itself is okay, but just the sound.
I
itself
like the movie. It like I said, it wasn't. Again, it wasn't. Oh, you gotta watch this, but it was a good.
Right.
It was a good movie. And it stood on its own. You didn't even ever have to see any Predator
Correct.
movie at all, and it was.
Well, it's like a prequel too, right? So,
Yeah.
Oh, really? Is it kind of a prequel to like
It's
the
a pre- it
first
is.
Predator? Okay.
Way
Early?
before. Yeah.
Yep.
Before Get to the Chopper?
Yeah.
yes.
Well before.
Vietnam.
Well before Earth was in sight.
yeah.
Before I don't have time to bleed.
Yeah.
I was like, that's my favorite line. I think one of my favorite.
It's not a tumor. Kindergarten cop. All right, gentlemen. Well, look, I did want to announce one last thing on the show before we wrap it up. I got some exciting news.
Oh,
I can't go without talking about Kaleidoscape. So we got to talk about Kaleidoscape here. So we got they're introducing a new Terra 30. So that's coming out, and what's getting better is this right here. If you add a Strato C, if you add a Strato C to this, the Strato C is only $2,000. That's normally a $4,000 unit.
yeah, Isn't it $28.95 or something right now?
Yeah, so it's they're bringing the prices down on these. Obviously 30 terabyte. You guys are gonna look at me like I'm crazy with my head spinning. When Scottio can scrub the internet and find a 28 terabyte for $500, but yeah. The prices for Kaleidoscape, I think, yes, they just raised the 8 terabyte price like $2,000, which I found was completely insane. But
yeah,
for this one, 30 terabytes, and a Strato C for 14 grand. I think that's a good price for what they got. So I think they're trying to do it. It says it'll hold 400 movies. So yeah, I mean, it's. Is it the optimal? No, but it's getting there for sure.
And there's still a limited time. They're going to be running out of that promotion with the 18 terabyte, and the Strato C will be ending soon. Yeah. which was at 9,900 for the 18 terabyte.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to end that soon, and it's going to go back up. Yeah, they don't have the 8 terabyte anymore.
Any of you guys got one I can
They have the SSD 8 terabyte.
Yeah, yeah, correct.
Don't say it. Don't say it, Scott. Don't
You
say
guys-
it.
You guys have one I can play with? I just want to demo it.
Yeah, we want a demo.
I'll
We
pay
want a
shipping
demo.
back and forth.
We want a demo.
I was talking to a client this week who says, "Can you add a hard drive to that Kaleidoscape system?" Yes, you can. Their hard drive. It's like,
Yeah.
you can't add a NAS drive to it? It's like, nope. Yeah. Not easily, I'm sure. Maybe there's somebody out there who's figured it out, but
Oh, people have.
yeah. But so
It's locked. They
not that I can recommend. But
Yeah, no, anytime you hook something up to that, even like a capture card or anything like that, it blacks it out like that. Like boom, boom, gone.
Yep.
So
yeah.
because I was trying to show, on the show, through the capture card, just gonna play. I forgot what I was gonna play, but as soon as I hit play, it just blanked it out completely because it knew the
Yeah,
capture card was
They
there.
got to follow all the rules, right? They need to have the HDCP compliance. They need to show that they're doing
Doing it, yeah.
their best effort to lock that down because
well,
it
it was the only way they were going to survive and get the contracts and relationships they had with the studios that they had.
exactly.
For sure. Well, listen, if you guys would like to build a dream home theater, make sure that you're reaching out to Abe at 3D Squared, right?
Yeah.
Design your home theater with them, and Glenn. If you're building your own theater, reach out to them so that you can buy panels and printed artwork from them to put hang into your theater. So they have plenty of different services. If you
We're not
are,
snobby.
I'm sorry.
I said, we're not snobby. We'll help you out no matter how we can.
Yeah, for sure. Just great people. I love Abe. Abe came on the show, and like you said, it was brand new to all this, and now look at him. He's like a professional podcaster now. So
I know, man. He's gonna outdo us in like a year. He's
Hey, look at that background.
Need to upgrade, man.
Wow.
You're still using StreamYard.
I was playing with that the other day. It's pretty amazing some of the stuff you can do on it. Yeah, that's
So
pretty cool.
you can reach out to them. The phone number here is 561-843-4966, or the Atlanta number, which I guess would be you, Abe, at 770-450-9872. And then you can obviously email Glenn at 3dsquared.com. And what's your email?
And you can do Abe at 3dsquared.com as well.
Or Abe at 3dsquared.com.
Yeah, I
So
gotta get
make sure
online
you
now.
guys send them some business. If you're looking for panels and stuff. I mean, for the type of artwork that's done on those panels, I don't think $250 is bad at all. I mean, it's
No.
you guys are doing some fantastic work with that. So make sure you go over to the website, check it out, and then please do all that great YouTube stuff. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified on Ike's upcoming videos. When's the next video coming out, Ike?
Probably this weekend.
What is it? What are we looking at?
What are you doing?
SVS.
SVS?
Okay.
Yeah, and you guys know I don't post videos, so I just do the live stream.
I'll get to it one of these days.
Yeah, exactly. So, and if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please shoot us an email at hometheaterhublive@gmail.com. As of right now, I think next week is open. So we do need a guest for Home Theater Tour, or if one of the industry professionals is watching this, we'd love to have you on also. So thank you so much for that. And then until next time, lights down, sound up, and don't blame us for your next upgrade.
Yep.
All right, guys, take it easy.
Don loves spending your money.